I'm here once again with high-level player Ezio,
Howdy, howdy.
and we're looking at the Nexus Diplomacy Tournament finals. This has exactly the same title as last year's, I think, but this is Season 3. So, last year was Season 2. Got a whole new array of players here. Only one of the finalists from last year qualified again this year. That would be Powa right here in Turkey. Every other player here is new to the finals, as far as I'm aware. They might have been in the Season 1, but it should be interesting to see how they do. So, I'll quickly go through them. You'll see we also have power rankings up now. At the moment, they're set in order of previous score in the tournament, which will be the tiebreaker if there's a tie at the end of 1910. So, in Austria, we have Milkman. In Germany, we have PoserTom. Turkey is Powa, last year's champion. Great Britain is Tortelloni. Russia is Kitsune. France is Ramon Cajal, and sorry if I'm pronouncing these terribly. And Italy is PezDeMer. And before we start, very quickly, I'm just going to say there have been other analyses of this game on YouTube. I've linked them in the sidebar of my YouTube channel. You should go check them out as well. They go in a bit more depth than we do. So, are you ready to start looking at the moves here, Ezio?
Yeah, and something to be clear is that I've done a really good job of not knowing the results of this game or watching any of the other analysis. I assume CaptainMeme has done the same.
Yep, that's true.
So, we're doing this blind. We have no idea what the results are, so even though there are other analyses out there, we haven't watched them. What you're hearing is what we think off the cuff.
Precisely. So, as we see each year here on the screen, this will be the first time we've seen that year, just full stop. Backstabber does have a little bit of an issue in that it shows you the results on the side of the screen as you're going through, but we've made some adjustments to our screens and just covered up areas so that that won't be an issue for us. So everything's blind. And coming in from a blind perspective, what do you think of this opening?
Uh, Very good for England. I think this is openings that England's dream of. Um, the bounce in Burgundy. There's currently nobody on Belgium except for them, and they set themselves up to convoy into Belgium. Russia didn't open north, so there's no possible contest over Norway. Um, England's opening is just everything you could possibly hope for. Um, so I
Yeah,
think England is quite happy here.
that it does
Um,
look like a pretty solid England opening. It is a pretty aggressive one though as well, right? You wouldn't expect a move to Wales in most games, I think.
No, but when you move to Wales, I think you're usually hoping to pick up Belgium or Brest, and given that Belgium is now guaranteed, he's got to be feeling like it's a success.
Yeah, Belgium being guaranteed is huge for England. Like, most of the time, I think you can't really rely on getting into Belgium as England if
And
there's anything next
usually,
to it.
yeah, usually I see the trade-off saying, I get Belgium, but I'm going to have to concede Norway to do it. And it usually becomes this very anti-French opening where you take these and then you concede Scandinavia to Germany and Russia. You let them fight it out, and you just go all in on France if you're going after Belgium. But here, England's options are still open. They can take Norway and Belgium, no problems.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Like,
yeah,
Russia heading Moscow down south is huge. If Russia had gone up to St. Petersburg, this is a much worse position for England, right? Although that's usually the case.
yeah. Basically, Russia opening north is bad for England. Russia opening south isn't. But it's the combination of Russia opening south and free Belgium that just
Yeah.
so nice.
So would you predict England goes into Belgium here rather than making a stab at Brest or you know,
I so Yes, I would expect him to take Belgium. I that's my it just taking the guaranteed move is so powerful. Getting a guaranteed build is very nice. Um, this particular system, this setup though, with the bounce in Burgundy and the army in Gascony, France in this position, the most common move, I believe, is actually to convoy Gascony into Portugal, while Marseille moves into Spain.
Right. I think I've heard of this. It's the Lisbon leapfrog opening.
Um, yeah, however, it's not too common for that position to be while France is in the English Channel. But I still think the most common move is the same convoy, hoping to then build fleet in Brest and then fight for the English Channel in the spring.
Yeah. I mean, the whole
And it,
the whole
sorry.
idea behind that move, so is just to make sure you have fleet Mid-Atlantic Ocean, fleet Brest, right?
Yeah,
The fact that you keep your fleet in the Mid-Atlantic Ocean means you put so much pressure on the English Channel right off the bat. That's difficult here because he could just lose Brest if he does it, right?
yeah. It depends on how much you think the French player is assuming England's going to take the guaranteed build.
Mm,
And I still lean that way. I like taking the guaranteed build because it also doesn't guarantee me an enemy. The convoy into Brest is powerful, and if England press is such that he knows for a fact that England is his enemy and Germany is his ally, I probably would still take Belgium, honestly.
mm,
But I could only see that argument. I think it's very likely England just convoys into Belgium.
right. Yeah, and then we presumably see Fleet Mid-Atlantic Ocean, Fleet Brest, and some kind of fight going on there, but England will
Well,
have an advantage.
the alternative move for France would be to just have Mid-Atlantic Ocean take Portugal, and then Marseille take Spain, while Gascony covers Brest or moves back to Burgundy to bounce. That's the alternative move for France here,
Mm,
which is entirely possible. I think it's actually more likely to see something along these lines, where France covers Brest and only takes it with the fleet. It takes Portugal with the fleet, that is. But it's not my preferred move set because I'm so convinced that England is going to take Belgium.
mm, yep. The other thing to consider in the West here is probably the Burgundy bounce. It's most likely arranged in this scenario, yeah?
Yeah, France dreams of this. Germany really doesn't, honestly.
Mm.
If
Because it
I'm
pins
Germany,
that
I hate
harmony?
bouncing in Burgundy. It feels so bad.
Because you can't really do anything with Munich after that, right?
Yeah,
You just
Munich
sort
is
of.
now just. It's like, oh, I can like support Venice into Tyrolia.
Mm,
Okay. I can like move into Ruhr in the spring, which is almost certainly what's going to happen here. That
yep.
just it's so important for the lowlands and for control over Burgundy the following year, if that matters. Munich is almost certainly going into Ruhr
Mm.
as
The
a
one
result.
downside to that potentially is the Austrian army that's just moved to Tyrolia, which is a like
Yeah,
this east as a whole. I was gonna wait until a little bit later to talk about it because it's
yeah, but
so
once you start talking about Munich, you kind of gotta start talking about the East.
yeah. But this move hit right here, Vienna to Tyrolia, that's very unusual. I would usually expect to only see that if he was expecting Venice to Tyrolia to happen as a sort of
Yes,
attempt to bounce.
yes,
Um, and I think that is probably what he expected because Trieste has moved out, as we can see. So it's not an anti-Italian move per se. It's just a
yeah. He wants to stop the Bohemian Crusher or any of the standard Venice to Tyrolia moves with Rome into Venice,
yep,
and he agreed to demilitarize Galicia with Russia. So he figured, I don't really want to have another army in Budapest because Budapest is only useful for attacking Romania. So I think we're golden.
yeah.
Um,
So
and
he's
so I think that's a good use of Vienna.
but that does present the problem for Munich that Vienna to Tyrolia, now the unit's in Tyrolia and it's not really got many places to go. It could cover Trieste, which is probably what it's going to do.
I would not be surprised if it tapped Venice as well.
Uh, that's a debatable one. Why would it tap Venice?
Because where's Venice going except for Trieste?
Yeah, but if he's going Venice to Trieste, he could just move Apulia up to Venice and bounce that, right?
He could, but he could also be convoying that into Tunis.
Mm,
Like, there are lots of options here. I could see, look, Tyrolia to Trieste is definitely the more normal move. It's one that's probably just more secure. If he's going into Trieste, yeah, you're probably better. Your move is almost certainly better than mine.
So
On balance.
I think if Rome had moved to Naples or something like that, then yes, tapping Venice is fine. But here, I would say,
Well, I'd say if Rome is in Naples, tapping Venice, I think, is just better.
mm,
But because it's in Apulia and Italy's like to cover Venice when you're in Tyrolia, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. Well,
I would expect him to agree to bounce in Trieste or something, and then stab it with the move to Venice, and you kick him out of Trieste, and now Italy's sad. But I don't like this move, Austria.
right.
I don't know. This is why the move to Tyrolia sucks when you don't bounce, because the army in Tyrolia is just so sad in this early game.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, the one thing it could do is get that build from Germany right off the bat if Germany is moving Munich to rear.
yeah, but I would honestly basically rather Germany have an extra army than me. Like, when I play Austria, I just assume I'm allied with Germany the entire game.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assumption.
The entire early game. I just say, we are best buddies, and him having a unit is better than me having a unit.
Yeah, it's a point because you rebuild the unit at home that you get from there, but you're using up a unit to do it, right? You've got that unit stuck in Munich now.
Yeah, and there's like 100% chance that you can't hold Munich because Germany's gonna get a build. So he's gonna have two armies adjacent to Munich, and he can retake it unless you're in fantastic shape with France and England. And even then, one of them is gonna capture Munich from you. Munich is an untenable position, I find, for Austria until the mid to late game when either Italy or Russia is dead.
That
Or
makes
maybe
sense.
Turkey's dead and you can still make push west with the three-way, but somebody's got to be dead before Austria can hold Munich, I found.
Yeah. That's reasonable because you can't commit any number of units to this Tyrolia Bohemia Silesia front just for Munich. Especially when you're being attacked from potentially all other sides. I should
bounce in Black Sea is the next bit to...
Yeah, so I should point out a lot of this probably makes more sense when you know the press they were doing. Obviously we don't, because we're looking at this from a gunboat perspective, but it was a full press game, so the participants would have been talking to each other, and all we can do is sort of infer what they were talking about from their moves. Yeah, this East as a whole, very interesting. Italy did a very standard opening. Aside from the Vienna to Tyrolia, Austria's gone with a very standard opening as well. But over here...
the Vienna to Tyrolia is relatively common with the DMZ and Galicia. When it's not moving, still the most common is the move to Budapest.
Is it the move to Budapest? I would say it's the move to Trieste. Is more common than Budapest when you have Galicia free. I don't think it helps a lot moving to Trieste because most of the time Italy attacks you, it does come around Tyrolia. But people move there
I think
more
you're
often.
correct. The move to Trieste is the single most common move played in the web diplomacy engines in that position, but it's just worse. Tyrolia is just better than Trieste. Like...
Well, I mean, it's worse if Italy just walks into Trieste.
Yeah, but like, what percentage of the time does Italy just walk into Trieste versus going for the Crusher?
That's a good point.
Austria doesn't want him to go into Trieste. So, I think, yeah. I don't like the Trieste move even more than I don't like the Tyrolia move. And I think the Tyrolia move is fine if you're not sure what Italy's doing, but. You should know that Italy's going to attack you by going into Tyrolia. Have you seen a game where Austria just never messaged Italy in the first phase to induce Italy to move into Tyrolia to then force the bounce?
I have not.
Yeah, I've done that. Live games, baby. You get some weird press. Right? Because you don't have time to message everyone anyways. And so I know that if I don't talk to Italy, Italy's going to attack me, and the way Italy is going to attack me is moving into Tyrolia. So you bounce him, and then you say, "Hey Italy, I just needed to make you do these moves so I'm safe. We can be friends now because you can't attack me anymore." and then you have a great alliance for the rest of the game.
Okay, right. I would say Italy should be pretty high up on your priorities list as people to contact as Austria.
As Austria, I mean maybe, but like, hey,
Uh,
if you can get them to make the whole point of press, right, is to get them to make the moves you want them to make, and whatever tactic is necessary to get them to input the moves you want, that's what you should take.
maybe.
Sometimes no press is best press.
But I would say having an alliance with Italy is better than than trying to get them to attack you.
Well, see, but you only for the first turn, right? And then once you bounce them, you then are super apologetic. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot to message you because I was so busy with Turkey and Russia and trying to get them to kill each other. I just assumed we were best friends, and then I realized I hadn't messaged you like 30 seconds in, so I tried to bounce it. From here, though, we're in great shape. You can't attack me. I can't attack you. Let's just be friends.
Okay, I'm not gonna contest that. Just think this.
Hey man, 5 minute moves, live games on web diplomacy, some fun things can happen.
Alright, so there you go, viewers. Next time you try a live game on WebDip, just don't talk to anyone.
No. Just don't talk to the one person you want to attack you. See? That's the key.
Alright, anyway, we're getting off topic. We should get back to this game.
Yeah, I was
Alright.
talking about this. The gunboat got me there. Sorry, dude.
Oh, it's all good. Right, so on the Russia-Turkey front, we've got two pretty unusual order sets here. Sevastopol to Romania is very pro-Austria, but it's also leaving the Black Sea open to Turkey. So
yeah,
you would imagine that's why he's committing so many units south immediately, just to make sure he's got that line of defense against a Turkish fleet in the Black Sea.
I guess, but what's Turkey do? Turkey had Smyrna hold, didn't go to Khan or Armenia.
That seems to represent a Turkey who doesn't think they're going to get two builds in the Balkans in 01. Who's certain they're not going to get two builds in the Balkans in 01. What benefits does it have over moving to Constantinople, though?
Well, you can move to Armenia from Smyrna, but not from Khan.
That's true. That's probably the big one.
You can move to Syria.
Yeah, I don't think Syria's a great location here unless you're looking to build two fleets without annoying anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's difficult to get that second build without annoying anyone, though.
That's true.
You have to get like
it's even more difficult when you've just held your army in Smyrna. But the big one is probably Armenia. So right now, Turkey has the potential to go and attack Russia.
Didn't commit to it.
But he didn't commit to it in 01, in spring 01. Which is, it's never amazing to commit to attacking someone right off the bat unless you're certain you're going to be at war with them anyway.
Or if you want to use it as, to give people leverage over you, to say, look, Austria, I'm going to attack Russia. Let's be friends. I can't attack you, so we have to work together. Right? Something like that. I think there's value there, but
that's reasonable.
It's possible.
Sort of, if you go all in on something, you are making yourself look like a more appealing ally in that you've gone all in on that alliance.
People who want that thing will want you alive and strong. People who don't want that thing will then want you dead. So, if you think Austria wants Russia dead, by committing to the attack, he'll work with you.
Yeah, but in this case,
he'll kill you.
In this case, he hasn't committed. So, but he's left himself in a position where he can commit, and there's very little cost for this apart from not being able to take two centers in the Balkans, which probably isn't going to happen anyway. So I'd say it's a reasonable move.
Yeah. And then we'll see if he goes into Armenia or Khan in the fall to leave Smyrna open for a build. Or if he's just going to not leave Smyrna open for a fleet build and build Fleet Khan or something.
Yeah. So, is that pretty much everything from this phase? we're expecting England and Belgium is the big one, and a convoy over to Portugal, yeah? Or, well, possibly not
I
a
would be
convoy over to
convoying in
Portugal.
but
We think the best move is the convoy over to Portugal, but
I like that convoy a lot.
potentially Gascony goes up to Brest just to defend.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see what the Austrian decides to do with his army Tyrolia. That's the other very interesting thing.
Yes, I don't think it's going to Munich though.
I doubt it's going to Munich either, but like, where does it go? So many choices.
Yeah, so many choices and none of them matter. They all equate to the same thing because Austria is building armies in the other spots. So
Yep.
like, okay.
That is probably true.
Alright, let's see the next turn.
Fall 1901. Backstabber takes a little bit of time to load. Oh, that was quite fast. Alright. Oh, Austria followed your advice. Tapped Venice.
Look at me go.
Huh. Interesting. Let's have a look at the West first, because it's easier.
Yeah. France.
Guess
Maybe.
potentially that Burgundy bounce in year 1 wasn't arranged?
Seems likely based on this, and then France just decided to give up a build because he was too scared about Brest.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is a very... Well, assuming Munich and Marseille weren't coordinated to bounce in Burgundy, that was just something that happened. This isn't the worst moveset. It's a very, very defensive one, but you really needed to have a unit contest Burgundy, right?
If Burgundy bounce was not arranged, yeah, contesting Burgundy's pretty important. Because you really want to be able to build a fleet, but now he can't, right? Is what gets me here. Like, we're stuck building only Army Paris, whereas if you don't contest Burgundy, if you just take Spain and Portugal, then you get to build an army in Marseille and an army in Paris anyways, right? Because you don't want to lose Paris. And then you can get Spain back into Gascony, you move Portugal back into Mid-Atlantic Ocean, and Portugal into Spain, and you're still actually in Portugal into Mao. Yeah, and you're still in a solid defensive position. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I don't like this moveset as France at all.
The two builds would probably have been stronger, yes. But, I mean, Gascony not covering Brest would have been the more important one, yep. Just going straight into Spain and Mid-Atlantic to Portugal.
So I think my point is you can still have Gascony cover Brest. You can have Marseille move to Spain and Mao move to Port.
And just let Germany into Burgundy?
Let Germany into Burgundy and then build Army Paris, Army Mar.
And you've got, because Spain comes back to Gascony, you've got this huge line of defense.
You just got 4 armies and a fleet.
I can see that.
Like, Germany's not taking jack from you, and you've still got your fleet in Mao. Like, if England's attacking you, you're still in bad shape, but if England's attacking you, you're smoked in this current setup.
Yep.
Right, you just can't hold this.
I think it is quite evident that, we would say Germany, England should be aligned in this situation, yeah. Because they're both kind of clearly anti-France.
I would think that. I'm also suspicious, though, because Denmark supported both Bothnia and Sweden.
That was what I was going to mention, yeah. That's unusual for an England-Germany alliance, although not out of the question.
Definitely unusual, though. The question is, what's Russia going to use his second build on? It was very clear Russia was going to have Romania, based on the moves, right? He had 3 units on Rome, couldn't possibly lose it. So Sweden is guaranteed the second build for Russia. And if Germany and England want to work together, they would need to be convinced Russia is building Army War, Army Moscow, and nothing in St. Petersburg. Which I don't think they're convinced about. So I don't think that Germany is actually planning on working with England, and this move to Burgundy might have been arranged. Maybe they just decided they were going to bounce in Burgundy again.
It seems like
people like bouncing in Burgundy.
It seems like a weird decision for a France-Germany alliance to make, though. Right?
Say, let's both lose a unit for the first year so we can keep each other out of Burgundy.
Yep. But maybe. I guess we'll see as we go forward.
Shocking.
Yeah, so going over to
In the
Russia here,
south.
Russia's pretty much guaranteed to build a unit in St. Petersburg, yeah? Because Army Warsaw, Army Moscow definitely doesn't help Russia very much when he's allied to she's allied to to to
Good
Austria.
question.
Sorry.
We stopped talking about it because we don't know who Russia is allied with.
Yes.
I do think that the two armies
I mean, it's
in
fairly
the
obvious
south.
Russia is allied to Austria down south, yeah?
I mean, it seems pretty clear. That's my bet. And because Germany let her into Sweden, it's probably true that she's allied with Germany, or at least that Germany wants to ally with her. Whether or not she cares is
Yeah. Although,
unclear.
actually looking at the south, these Russian moves speak to me as someone who's arranged for Turkey to move out of the Black Sea and is trying to reposition to work with Turkey,
Yeah,
potentially.
and then get that army into Romania and say suddenly we're fine, but there's no danger to Romania with these moves.
But it looks like Turkey decided, no, I want to be anti-Russia here, with the move to Armenia and with just staying in the Black Sea. But it would
It's
have been
weird
quite a good
because
setup.
Turkey's also being anti-Austria by supporting Italy into Greece.
Yeah, there's some. I don't know if they're questionable decisions yet, but it's interesting to sort of go against both of your immediate neighbors in favor of an
Yes.
alliance with Italy. Like,
No, it's
Italy-Turkey alliances usually sort of start as Italy-Russia-Turkey alliances because
yes.
Turkey can't fight both Austria and Russia by themselves at the same time.
Yeah, so the argument is that, well, Italy can help me take them on,
Mm,
so we're fine.
yeah. This is
Unclear.
uh the Italian choice to go to Greece in the first place is also a little bit questionable. I don't think there was ever any chance Italy was getting in there. Like,
Doesn't look like it to me.
Austria
What else
has
is
to
Serbia
try
gonna
and
do?
take
Cover
it.
Trieste? Like,
You
I don't
would
know.
think Tyrolia would be covering Trieste.
Exactly. That's
Um,
my point, right? It's there's nothing for Serbia to do here except
except support the
like okay,
move.
if Turkey could convince Italy, hey, Austria's asked me to support him into Romania with my 2 units from Serbia. I've told him yes, but I'm totally not doing that. I'm supporting you into Greece instead. Maybe,
But
right?
that seems even worse from Turkey's perspective because that means Turkey's not only fighting on the board Russia and Austria, they've also just lied to Italy. So
Well,
I
I mean,
doubt that would be what happened.
maybe it's but then Turkey can go and say, well, I thought Austria lied to me. They're clearly attacking me. It's a good thing we're working together, and he's not in Greece, I guess. I don't know.
Mm. Well,
I'm terrified for this Turk. I'm not a fan of his chances here in the long run.
I mean, keeping black is always nice. He's got a nice defensive position, especially if Italy and Austria don't get on. But
I guess it seems to me like Bulgaria is exposed, and the only way to it's going to be tough to hold Bulgaria
um,
without an
he
army in Khan.
he has a build, right?
Yeah, but are you going to build an army in Khan or a fleet in Smyrna, or just go fleet Khan and say, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need a fleet in Smyrna. I definitely think fleet Khan's the best build. It's just terrifying.
Yeah. Um, I would say yeah, this is a dangerous position for the Turk. Um, just generally not being allied with either Austria or Russia is a dangerous situation. Even
Yeah,
if you have
but
such a strong line against the Russian here.
yeah, but if Italy is going to be 100% on side for Turkey, then it's better than the alternative because neither Austria nor Russia because Austria can't really commit to this.
Yeah.
Um, Problem is Russia got 2 builds. Russia is clearly going to be able to use his resources on Turkey.
Mm,
But maybe Turkey can convince Russia, look, you can't get any builds from me. You can get builds from Austria. Let's be friends.
that's possible. Was there anything else to discuss in this round? Like,
And I want to see the builds.
alright, let's just skip forward to the builds then. Which is Winter 1901. Fleet Trieste. That's the first thing that stands out to me.
I'm still loading. Alright. Yeah, that's a Fleet Trieste. Oof. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Alright, I take it back. This Austria is my favorite player in the world, and I want him to win. Oh, man. That takes... so that breaks every single rule I've heard about ever playing Austria, which is never build a fleet.
Well, you can build fleets, they just have to be later on, right?
No, I thought the rule was you never build a fleet.
Okay, you can never build a fleet, you just won't win that way. You'll just get a good draw.
You just need to crush people, right? You can crush through Germany, and then you just sort of kill people. You like take all of Turkey's centers early, because you'll need the one fleet for that. You can stab Italy and Germany at the same time and kill them. And then like Kiel, Berlin, Munich, plus the entire normal eastern side of the stalemate line, minus Tunis, and you win. Seems doable. Yeah. Anyways,
it's potentially doable.
I've never seen a fleet build. I've never seen an Austria with the same number of fleets as armies, and that number is greater than 1.
That's yeah. I think I agree with that.
So what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see like? So
I'm just interested where Austria is going with this. Like, maybe the whole reason he built Fleet Trieste here is just he doesn't want to seem aggressive to Russia, but...
Look, I've changed my estimation about Turkey's position. I think Turkey's in great shape, because Austria's dead.
Yeah, well, if I was Russia here, I'd just eat Austria.
I mean, Russia has 2 armies, or sorry, Austria has 2 armies, and Russia has 4. So she's looking at this Austria with army in Tyrolia and Serbia and a fleet in Trieste, saying, nothing can stop me from walking into Galicia. And once I'm in Galicia, I could probably get into Romania as well. And, like, Budapest is going to fall guaranteed in this year, and from there, who knows? Yeah, I'm terrified for Austria, but I want him to win real bad. I want him to just kill Italy, keep Russia on side, and then have Turkey fall. That's my dream.
I'm just wondering...
I estimate the odds of that happening at, like, 5%.
What even is the plan for that fleet? What can it do? It can only go to... Yeah,
it's the Adriatic Sea. It has to be going into the Adriatic Sea.
In which case, Serbia has to go to Trieste, right? Or Tyrolia has to come down to Trieste.
Or Tyrolia goes into Trieste.
But this is sort of just the I hate you, Italy approach.
Italy, you jerk. Why'd you bounce me out of Greece? I will kill you now. Die!
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason. It's just going, like, why would you do that? I'm going to get rid of your chances in this final.
I don't even think it does, to be honest.
Yeah, because Austria is likely to die faster than Italy will here.
So fast. Anyways,
it does pin Italy in place for quite a while.
Yeah, but like Italy's normally fine sitting in place. That's what the Lepanto is.
Italy
just sits around for a while and then randomly gets a dot later in the game. It's fine.
Speaking of which, the Lepanto would have been extremely effective here if they hadn't gone to Greece. What with this?
Yeah, the Lepanto would have been looking good. Would have been looking real good. But they didn't.
The other interesting thing here, Russia built Warsaw, Moscow, not in St. Petersburg as we were thinking they would.
Yeah, so this is just... England is clearly the most powerful position on this board. It's really not close.
I think. Do you want
Germany
to
built
do
2 armies.
like official power rankings here, or do you want to do them once every 2
maybe.
years?
It's like Austria's on the bottom, England's on the top, Russia's clear number 2, Germany's probably 3rd just by virtue of looks like the 2 powerhouses are working with him, and then like France and Turkey and Italy are all doing kind of bad, and then Austria is dead.
Okay, so here I have my fancy new stream layout. That enables me to do power rankings. So I can look at this. Power rankings on the fly. Look at this amazing thing. So right now I've got England number 1, Russia number 2, Germany number 3, and then all 3 of the others sort of in joint bad position. And then we've got Austria.
Yeah, except for Austria.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
so this is our spring 1901. Well, not spring 1901, just 1901 in general power rankings.
This is relatively similar to the actual spring 1901 power rankings. Just so we're clear, I think this is fairly accurate. I would
Uh,
switch England and France though, but other than that, I think we have.
yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, I
so
don't know enough about actual
yeah.
World War One history for this, especially like 14 years before the First World War actually began.
Anyways, I'm just gonna get the next moves going.
All right, sounds good.
We look at those builds a lot. All right. So all eyes are on
England trying
yeah.
to move into
Okay.
Holland is interesting, and moving into
Yeah.
Skagerrak.
Yeah. All right. So France is clearly in better shape than I thought. Um. Wait, Edinburgh to Clyde?
Okay, I mean,
I
I
like how
can
it took
see
us
it.
both the same amount of time to see it.
Yeah,
What?
it's just such a small arrow; it doesn't immediately stand out. But it's an interesting move. Like his only other option really was Edinburgh to the Norwegian Sea, which maybe would have looked anti-Russian. But still, I think it's better than moving it to Clyde.
What did Norway do?
Norway moved into Skagerrak, so he's just
But
demilitarized Norway without putting defensive units around it.
well, he has a unit in the North Sea, which kind of counts.
But North Sea is
But
presumably going to help him attack either
yeah, with
Holland or
Denmark.
Denmark.
Presumably.
It's,
Yeah. All right.
it's possible he just wanted to go all in on this Russian alliance and show that he was all in on this Russian alliance.
Yeah.
But
And looks like Russia was on board with it.
yeah, but
Germany's in bad shape.
Russia could very easily just walk into Norway now. It's
You could, but the move to Silesia and Livonia to me indicates a certain amount of not that.
yeah, commitment on the other. But,
Yeah. Yeah, so this was really good for France, right? England was the strongest position on the board, and England said, "Hey, France, let's work together," and so they are.
Yep. France
France is in Burgundy.
doesn't have the fleets to take advantage of England per se.
Exactly. But France isn't going to die, and I thought France was going to die. So this is good for France.
Yep, and bad for Germany. Very bad for Germany.
Very bad for Germany. Germany was what was in third place. Germany is not in third place.
Yeah, Germany. The Russian units attacking here is extremely problematic. I'm still just like, I don't think the Edinburgh move to Clyde is good at all. I think Norwegian would have been better, even if you're trying to prove how much you like Russia.
I agree, but I also think the difference between Norwegian and Clyde is relatively minor, because I think they're going to North Atlantic Ocean afterwards most of the time.
Yeah, that's probably
Or
true.
honestly, just holding in Edinburgh and then moving into the North Sea doesn't seem that bad either. But
that is another thing. It can't follow up into North now if North goes into Heligoland.
yes.
Or Skagerrak. Well, he's already got a unit in
Yeah,
Skagerrak.
but there's still the fleet in the English Channel to do that follow-up. So
yeah, I
kind
can
of
see
maybe think that maybe the Army Edinburgh would have been better for England here,
it. Well, considering the
this
moves,
alternative, and the plan is to attack Germany.
that would make sense.
I think just getting ready to get the next convoy into Holland or Denmark would have made more sense here. Definitely Holland better than Denmark, sort of clear, but
All right.
So yeah, in the south we have the fun. Trieste had a different move, and it could support Albania into Adriatic, which works.
Interesting thing here is Russia not defending their south against Turkey at all.
Russia
really
didn't. Yeah, just said screw the south, but Turkey didn't punish him for it.
Turkey
just walked out of the Black Sea.
I think Turkey was looking for that alliance with Russia after having stabbed him last phase, I guess. Maybe seeing that Italy wasn't going to be a very useful ally to him, given Italy has to be on the defensive.
That said, if I'm Turkey here, and I see those Austrian builds, and I think that the deal with Russia is this, I stab Russia every time. I support myself into Romania from Bulgaria. I move Khan to the south coast or the east coast. It actually doesn't matter here. And then we pop the fleet in Romania, and Sev is going to fall next turn.
I mean, you would assume that Ukraine and Sev would be supporting Romania, right? Well,
Not if the
no.
deal is to meet back out of the Black Sea, so Russia takes the Black Sea, so Russia can get an army in Romania to
Right,
have two on Budapest.
if you're trusting what Russia's saying, yeah.
But even still, the move sequence: Black Sea supports Bulgaria into Romania, Armenia to Sev, Khan to. I mean, the
Probably
East Coast feels real bad, but probably the East Coast of
Uh,
Bulgaria
I do not like
and
having fleet East Coast Bulgaria. It just feels
and
so
Fleet Black Sea.
useless.
It does, but the reason why is because of this exact move sequence from Russia. When Russia moves into Galicia, the following turn we can have Armenia support Romania into Sev and have Black Sea support Khan into Romania, or vice versa,
Mm,
honestly. Probably the other way would be better.
right.
And suddenly you just took Rum and Sev from Russia, and so she's looking real bad,
Yeah.
and you're in good shape without Austrian intervention. And I'm assuming Austria is messing around with Italy this whole time, so I don't care too much about it.
That's true. It does leave you with no allies, though, right?
Hmm?
Or no effective
Austria.
allies.
Austria's your ally.
Austria's clearly not working with Turkey here, though, because he tried
But
to
you don't.
support.
My point is, with Turkey, you don't need Austria to explicitly be helping you here. If Austria sits back, you kill Russia.
Mm,
Well, you do a lot of damage to Russia very quickly and grow in the process.
yeah,
Right? Just instant 6 build Turkey with a fleet in the black. Like, I'll take
that's
that
pretty
game.
strong. Yeah. At that point,
And
the only thing you're really worried about is just the threat level of you
the
uniting
point is,
everyone
what is
else
the threat
against
level
you.
you gonna do? What's Austria gonna do?
Um,
He's got 2 fleets. He's gonna be taking Venice this year.
that's true.
Like, what's he gonna do to
Just
you?
like Austria might not even take Venice this year. He has to take it with Fleet
Adriatic.
Adriatic, right? Which is
Yep.
horrible. Just
And
having a
then,
fleet stuck in Venice.
yeah, but he has a second fleet. It's an extra fleet. Who cares? He only needs one.
Yeah.
Actually, he only needs 0. But
Mm, it does.
anyways, I think I'm not necessarily a fan of Turkey's decision to ally with Russia here. I think
Mm,
Turkey is going to get outgrown very quickly
I think
and can need to
Russia
stab
is
Russia later.
very clearly stronger. Yeah, and Russia is going to gain probably, well, Budapest at the very least, right?
Budapest is guaranteed.
Um,
And then it's unclear he's going to get anything from Germany in the immediate, but Berlin is looking probable within a year or 2.
yeah,
So Russia's going to be growing 1 this year, and then almost certainly 1 the next year. And I see Turkey as probably getting Greece this year, probably. Um, no, maybe not even this year. Maybe only next year. Like I just see Turkey as falling behind in this juggernaut, as happens frequently, and needing to stab Russia later. And I would rather have just stabbed him immediately, get the builds, and move on with your life.
yeah, that makes sense. I Yeah, no, I would agree pretty much entirely with that. This juggernaut is going to be very Russia-sided, especially
Yeah,
with
Russia's in the Black Sea. Russia's bigger.
Turkey's, because like Turkey's units have to be. I mean, yeah, just having Russia in the Black Sea is a bit of an annoyance by itself. But then Armenia is useless. Fleet Anchor is useless. You can move Constantinople out to Aegean, and then it's useful, but
Yeah,
it's not
we're gonna be
immediately.
like we're gonna be a year and a half behind Russia at the very least, which is and Russia already has the edge in the juggernaut.
Mm.
So maybe his hope is Russia gets too big and you can stab him later and it's gonna be fine. But I don't, again, I don't like that line.
Well, I guess we'll see. Just looking at the Austrian-Italian front again, Austria's put a lot of work into getting
Yeah,
Venice.
to getting Venice, but for the record, it looks like he's gonna be doing better than Italy. Russia decided that he's only gonna take
I
Budapest,
I don't
so
know if he's going to be doing better than Italy in the long run
oh yeah,
because
not next year, but this year he's gonna continue to be bigger than Italy.
which is the goal, right? You
Which
just
is the
want to be
goal.
bigger than
Bigger
one
than Italy
person. And then
for as long as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. But I'm interested to see where it goes. And well, he's not going to be able to build anything even if he does take Venice because he's losing Budapest, right?
Yeah.
Unless he somehow walks into Greece.
Hey man, you could walk into Greece if Turkey just supports whole Bulgaria again,
Yeah,
and if Italy doesn't. I don't know, man. This is tough. Austria is my favorite, but jeez.
but he's not going to do very well. All right. So shall we move on to the fall?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a car alarm. Can you hear that through my?
A little bit, yeah, but not much.
Hopefully it goes away soon. All right.
Oof. Oof.
What's happened here?
Oh, wow. Austria, no. Austria, no.
Oh dear, that's
Well, alright, Austria lived a good
problematic.
life.
Okay, well,
Austria is on 3, and Italy's on 3, so Austria didn't even accomplish his goal of being bigger than Italy. They're just the same size. Ugh,
oof. And
big
he
oof.
took it with Trieste instead of
Yeah, this works
Tyrolia?
the same.
But, like, it works the same, yeah, but if you're doing it this way, you might as well go in with Tyrolia, right? Because then you have the possibility to attack Rome.
Rome. I mean, maybe, but this is, I don't know. I'd rather have an army in Tyrolia, because you never know when you gotta walk into Munich.
Which is probably Austria's only way of surviving past this point. This looks like a so there's a lot weird going on in the Juggernaut here, but it looks like it's all arranged.
This just made its way back to a Sevcon shuffle in
Hmm.
the second year. Okay.
So, in case you're not aware, the Juggernaut has a variation which involves getting the Russian fleet out into the Mediterranean by swapping over Sevastopol and Constantinople, and then swapping back later.
Yeah, it also gets the Turkish army from Smyrna into the mainland a little more quickly
Yeah,
via Sev. So they swap Sev and Khan, hence the name Sev Khan Shuffle.
I think it has balanced out the Juggernaut a little bit just because of how defensive Turkey has gotten here, even though Russia, I think, has more builds.
Russia is way bigger, dude. What?
Yeah,
Russia gained 2,
Russia gained Vienna and Budapest. He didn't.
and
She
Russia
didn't
was
take
already at 6 to
Norway.
Turkey's 4. So now Russia's gonna be at 8 to Turkey's 4. I mean, hey,
Um,
at least Turkey's relatively safe.
yeah, Turkey didn't gain anything, right?
Nope,
Oh, ouch.
Turkey's +0.
I think Turkey was counting on Austria not contesting Greece.
Something like that, saying, "Hey, buddy, you gotta cover Budapest or at least move to Romania." And then Austria's like, "No, Russia's my bestest friend. He will never attack me. Why would he do something like that?"
Uh,
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, Austria's
ouch.
dead. Turkey's in better shape, but Russia's still dominating in that alliance.
Yeah, Russia's
Um,
still incredibly dominant. Over on the Western Front, we've got
yeah,
Clyde moving back out to the Norwegian, which is a
whatever.
bit. I mean, sure,
Sure,
there's not.
that doesn't matter. It gets to the same place. The Norwegian
Yeah.
wasn't going to do anything anyways, I don't think.
I mean, maybe the agreement between England and Russia was just don't have a fleet in Norwegian in the spring.
I don't know, man.
Uh,
Whatever. Maybe it's a misorder.
but oh, that's true. Edinburgh to Clyde could well have been a misorder in the first place. Although
Um,
Backstabber is a clicking.
exactly. So I could see him
Press,
just like
so
trying to just click a small move up top and then hitting on Clyde in accident. Although trying to misclick Clyde, that's pretty small.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I'm not too concerned about that. It's like a minor, really minor mess up. It's like half a season for a single unit that
Yep.
wasn't going to do anything anyways. So
So
the tactics.
Denmark's gone, which is reasonable, right? I mean, well, yeah. England
Yeah,
took
Denmark is
Denmark.
retreated to the Baltic with Russian
Um,
support, notably.
yeah.
England was going after Holland, but Germany made moves such that it was impossible for him to lose Holland.
Yeah, he cut both
So
North Sea and Belgium here, which were the two units that could support a move into Holland. So if you
yeah,
cut all units around that can support the move, it can only ever be one strength, so you're guaranteed to hold it.
yeah, and England was guaranteed that he wasn't going to lose Belgium, even
Yep.
without the French, or unless French decided to support Germany,
Yeah,
which
that was
France
a
didn't.
possibility.
Yeah, Instead, France
France
just convoyed Brest into Portugal.
still playing
And
very conservatively here, but I think that's reasonable given he's not really got many places he can go. Just taking the center, taking your build, making sure nothing gets taken off you, and wait in the corner for your chance to strike
yeah,
is the current approach. I wonder
as
what he
fine as
builds
France.
though, because just another army is gonna be he's gonna be so army
Useless.
heavy. That's
Useless. So sad. Fleet Mars nicer, but
but it takes forever to get anywhere.
yeah, I mean not forever. One moves it's in Spain's south coast, and then we're in business.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
Tunis
guess
is
I would expect Fleet Mar over Army Paris or Army Mar, which is the other.
those are the alternatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Russia. I assume he's gonna keep St. Petersburg demilitarized. No reason to screw with that. And he can't
Yeah.
build in Sev, so the options are gonna be Army War, Army Moscow again.
Yep.
I like it.
There is a possibility of attacking England, but it would stall out pretty significantly, especially considering Russia's already at war with like everyone
Yeah,
except
he's
for
only at war
Turkey.
with Austria and Germany.
Yeah.
So, and Austria doesn't really count. So he's really only at war with Germany.
Mm.
My issue would be if I build in St. Petersburg, I think it's very easy for England and Germany to make up.
Yeah. Because Germany's still in the Baltic, England still has a lot of fleets on that front.
Well, I don't know what Germany's
And
going to disband, but I assume Germany's not disbanding Fleet Baltic. Because Fleet
yeah.
Baltic is very good.
Um,
So,
Also, Germany still has a completely intact front with Russia. So the moment he makes up with England, he's sort of set on the defense
yeah, he's
against
not going to lose
Russia.
anything to Germany. Germany's not going to lose anything to Russia.
Yeah.
She's going to get stonewalled.
And France is not in a position to help Russia very much at the moment.
Not immediately. Particularly not with this. But, I mean, honestly, a fleet in North Atlantic Ocean is always annoying, but not annoying enough.
Mm.
Yeah, I expect we're just going to see standard. I don't expect these builds to shock the alliance structure right now.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yep, let's go forward to winter 1902. And Munich's off the board. We do see Fleet North Coast St. Petersburg,
St. Pete.
so
All right, well, there goes that analysis.
it's possible that England did breach a DMZ with going into Norwegian.
And then broke it,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's a weird. Well, I suppose that would be the time to break it if you want to work with Germany, because then you've taken Denmark, so you've already used Russia's help where you can get it.
I guess, but you still want Russia to be pressuring Germany on the east.
Yeah. Well, unless you want to work with Germany suddenly, but then you're counting on Germany wanting to work with you, which is.
I mean, possible. He did pop Munich. I don't know. So look, my opinion was that when we talked about the board analysis and I had England and Russia as 1 and 2, I assumed they were just going to work together and crush the board. If they're at war with each other, it's a lot harder.
Are we doing power rankings right off the bat?
I'm just looking at it, trying to see how this goes.
I'm just looking at. Well, I think the Italian decision to disband Venice and then build Fleet Naples is actually quite good, given there's no
given that
army
it was a fleet
threat
in Venice the whole time.
Yeah, there's no army threat to them. Austria taking that useless fleet off the board, but
but there's another useless fleet on the board.
He's taking
Normally,
the
this is the
most
point.
useless fleet off the board. He's
Yes,
still got
but
his other
normally
useless.
when you're Austrian, you only disband a fleet. You still have 3 armies. You can still fight. But now, yeah. So this was definitely this gives Austria and Italy a chance to last. But with this juggernaut at this point, like, there's just no chance. They're doomed.
Yeah, I still think it's more
very
likely
quickly.
Austria just like calls it here and says, "Okay, my objective is still going to be to kill Italy because there's no real chance."
Because I can't survive. Maybe if I take Rome, I can like find my way into some dumbass draw in one center in Rome. Maybe I've seen crazier stalemates. So yeah, that's my pitch to Turkey and Russia. I'm more useful to you alive. Don't kill me yet. whatever.
Important thing to consider here, Austria can immediately get the army into Venice. There's nothing that can stop him doing that, so he does have some pressure on Italy, but not enough to actually take anything more at the moment.
Not enough to even like really threaten anything anymore. Everything is invincible. No guesses are possible. It's just
Yeah, I think Austria is...
England built another fleet. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, that's... I mean, it's not terrible if you're not looking long-term. Especially in this war with Russia, fleets are going to be far more effective than armies. But that's only if he knew he was going to war with Russia, which I guess
he did. Maybe he knew he broke the demilitarized zone and was like, hey.
Yeah. But, I mean,
fight.
The main problem, obviously, as England, you're usually looking for having at least some strong army presence into the late game, so you can push across the stalemate line. But in a game like this, where it only goes up to 1910, and it counts your center count at the end, it's not as important. You can win by taking all the coastal centers. It's difficult, but you can.
Yeah, armies let you take centers. Armies help.
They definitely do.
Even for England. Like, I've been pushing for a mod where England's fleets are just like 1.1 strength and their armies are 0.9 strength. And then you have these different strength levels for each unit, so like ties aren't things anymore. But this isn't that variant. So
yeah.
The fleets aren't better.
I mean, what do you do with Fleet London here? I assume you're still in this alliance with France.
When you backfill Helgoland Bite.
Are you still in this alliance with France if you've just gone to war with Russia and you're hoping to get Germany back on side, I assume?
Oh, I'm just saying I'm going to kill Germany before he matters. Get into Helgoland Bite, take Holland, and then hope that Kiel falls soon after?
That's possible, but Germany, Russia are going to just stomp you here, right? At least on the Scandinavia front.
It'll take a bit.
You can only hold one of Norway or Denmark off the bat. And then I suppose you could hold whichever one.
Well, it's
survived.
A guess, right?
Yeah. Well,
you just have a guess for Norway and Denmark every time.
Yeah.
Let's see, has to guess what Sweden's doing.
That's true, because Sweden can be cut by Denmark, or North Sea could support hold Denmark, or they could double support into Norway and just okay. It's a guess every turn. That's true.
But the problem is, it's a guess that never gets better for England, because England can't get more units in the North Sea. You have to concede the guess on a turn to improve your position.
Yes.
So like North Sea into Skag seems fine, because Denmark retreats into Helgoland Bite, London goes into North Sea, and then you've got 4 fleets with you're going to retake Norway guaranteed, even if you lose it. And you can also, if you lose Denmark, you lose Denmark and you get bounced out of Norway is the problem. So when you lose Denmark, I don't think you can retake it, even with the extra fleets, because Germany can get Berlin, Kiel. I don't know. It's possible this fleet from Russia is just purely defensive, and he's just going to bounce into Norway, and Russia and England are just going to keep bouncing in Norway forever.
That's possible, but I don't think he would build. Well, she would build Fleet North Coast if she was planning to keep her alliance with England. Just an agreed bounce, an army would be fine there and would be less irritating for England.
Maybe, but I like irritating England. Those Brits with their stupid accents, man. Just. Ugh.
Okay.
Can't stand them.
Right, sure. I will let that one go. Just continue. So, power rankings at the moment. What are your opinions on that?
Russia.
I think Russia is unquestionably top. England.
Okay, the only argument against Russia being top is that Russia is so far on top, people have to want to flip it.
Yeah.
That's the only argument against Russia. It's a solid argument, but I don't... No, Russia's too strong.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. There is some possibility that Russia just like implodes with everyone attacking them. But even there, like Austria can't attack them very effectively, so they've got one front which is fine.
Yep.
And
Turkey can do a relatively potent stab, right?
yeah,
Like, I mean, not really. It takes like a turn to set up still, but no, Russia's too strong. Anyways,
all right. So
England's still
second,
looking good.
England. I would
But
yeah, England's
France
strong.
is looking good. Germany's looking good. I don't know.
I would put France above Germany just because France has nothing to worry about at the moment.
Yeah, and France is bigger, right?
And
France is
like
just
France is always the primary beneficiary of any juggernaut in the West.
yes.
Just because it's opposite everyone. So the moment everyone turns on Russia and says, "Okay, we've got to stop this," France is just fine. They can hold there. They can just sort of
Yeah, they
let
can
it
hold
out,
until the
or they can
juggernaut
just
gets cut, and then they explode and kill
yeah,
whoever they can.
precisely. So I would put them above Germany here.
I kind of want to put France above England for that reason as well.
Uh, yeah, I would say so. I don't see where
I
England's
don't see
going
how
to expand to.
how France gets weaker here.
Mm,
Right. I think France can eat Italy just fine. I think Tunis can fall.
yeah, so
Um,
would you put Turkey or Germany higher?
Turkey.
I think that's reasonable too. There's no one really around to stab
How
Turkey.
does Germany grow?
Mm. I mean, Germany's probably going to recover a bit if Russia helps them out.
But if like if I'm Germany, I have a hard time convincing Russia to give me the dots instead of taking them for himself, given that
That's
Russia's the one with all the power here.
yeah. I think Italy, Austria, we can just both put in the dead
Whatever. They're
category.
at the
Well,
bottom. I don't care. They're
Austria's
irrelevant.
probably gone. So
Austria's
these
definitely at the
guys are
bottom of that too, but they're both. Neither one of them is going to impact this game dramatically. I expect for the next couple years.
yeah. Both of them. There's sort of a big gap here between Germany and Italy.
Yeah.
I think maybe Turkey could be a little bit higher up than we're putting them, just because long term they have more of a chance. When people start fighting Russia, they've got no opposition in the south.
Yeah, honestly, I could totally see Turkey being as high as second place here
But
as far as the power rankings.
I think the fourth is a fine position. These are all quite close. Like France,
Yeah,
England,
they're all tight. France,
Turkey.
England, and Germany. France,
Yeah,
England, and Turkey are all relatively close in power, and a lot of it just depends on which way these alliances shake out.
yep. And whether anyone turns on Russia, that's the big one. If there's a
they
united
have
front
to at
against
some
Russia,
point.
that's
Yeah, if there's united front against, depends on how the front works against Russia. Who works with Russia and who works against her, and I am suspicious of how this is going to go out.
yep.
So,
All right, let's move forward to spring 1903, and we've got Germany attacking Russia here, right? Germany is definitely working with England.
Yeah, so Germany's on side with England.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting, given that Germany should be angry at England at this point. But I suppose they should be angry at Russia as well.
This went really, really, really well for England.
Mm. Yeah.
Really well.
Like,
holy smokes.
So England now has a huge flanking position up here. Losing Norway is completely irrelevant because it can just be exploded next turn, and
and he got Sweden in the process. So England's already plus, and St. Pete's gonna pop as well.
Yep. Well, St. Pete's. Oh yeah, it is, because Baltic moved up to Bothnia, right? And Russia moved all their units away that were defending it. Livonia's in Warsaw, Moscow's in Sevastopol. Oof.
Yeah.
That's a huge blow to Russia.
There goes the north.
There's the only way Russia keeps St. Petersburg is if Germany decides to turn on England for some reason, or sees that England is going to get a huge amount out of this. Just decides to stop
if I'm England, I'm supporting Germany into St. Pete.
Oh yeah, Actually, that's
It's no
totally
longer
reasonable.
guaranteed to hit, right? Because Norway can cut Barents Sea, but I'm still doing it.
I feel like Norway cutting Barents Sea is guaranteed, right? There's no other good move.
Yeah, there's no
Except
other good move.
maybe asking Germany to support you back to Sweden or something, but that's...
Yep. But like, oftentimes people just support St. Pete, and I'm okay offering Germany support, even if I expect that support to get cut.
Yeah. That's reasonable. That's just, like... As long as it's not you who's losing the potential supply center here, or not
Yeah,
gaining
and
the
I'm in,
potential
like,
supply
if I'm
center, it's
England,
no
I'm in
problem.
fine shape here. I'm already getting a build. I have no enemies. France is moving south. Germany's moved east. Russia, who built fleets in the north, is going to lose both those fleets guaranteed before they do anything. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm down to sit tight.
Russia's fleets aren't necessarily both taken off the board. One of them will be able to retreat to Skagerrak.
Oh,
But,
not necessarily. There's still a fleet in North Sea, right? You can set it up because
oh
you're
yeah,
so
if you
dominant
go
now.
English channel to north to Skag, yeah, you just take both fleets off the north. This is, like, perfect for England. I think you will have to retract your criticism of Fleet London here. um,
I guess.
just
I
because it's worked out so well. Like,
I guess, but like, what if instead we just had an army in London? Like, whatever. This is fine. This,
yeah,
this works fantastically for England. England is now strongest.
yep.
I still like armies as England a
I think
lot.
long term they're going to struggle just because of their number of fleets, but right now,
Whatever. Russia's going to be neutered. There will be no more fleets in the north. England's fine.
yeah, they just need to never build another fleet again. Just focus on armies from here on out. But they're in a solid position.
Yeah,
That's
they're the strongest on the board by a lot.
by a
Okay.
huge amount.
So in the
Um,
south, we like didn't see anything interesting, right?
I mean, France moving south is interesting. Going all out after Italy.
I don't know. This is what I expected.
So
Tunis
Marseille,
is the next
well,
capture.
yeah, France didn't have much of a chance of taking anything off England. So yeah, this is the most expected route for them to go. They're still not going to get very much. Like,
No, they're gonna get Tunis, and then they're probably gonna get Rome or Naples.
they're
It's
not
gonna be a
guaranteed
little slow
Tunis
going.
this year. They
No,
might.
they're not guaranteed it this year. They're guaranteed it next year.
Yeah. So, I think taking Rome and Naples is always a lot more difficult than you think it's going to be.
Maybe. I feel like we got a convoy into Tuscany on board. With an army in Tuscany, it's a lot easier to capture
That's
Rome and Naples.
true. Convoy to Tuscany puts a huge amount of pressure on the Italian here, but Italy is getting a build somehow. What is
Yeah, because
Adriatic
Austria
convoying?
I'm unsure.
Well,
You know how to check that?
we do not have order lists on this game, unfortunately, so
We
we
don't?
cannot check this. Nope. I
We
think
don't know what that's convoying?
once a game finishes on Backstabber, you can't check the orders for it. Maybe that's changed. Well, maybe that's different.
Well, I
but
can't see it. So it's
it's
convoying something. Maybe it was trying to convoy Apulia into Albania?
that's the most likely outcome. Yeah,
Trying to just
I think.
get him into Greece or something?
Just
Eh.
saying, like, leave me alone. I'll stay here on one supply center and just fight off these people, and you can help me. But that's not going to work when you've just suicided yourself into them.
Yeah.
So I think Italy's still in a really rough position, but it's better than it was last round.
Yeah, I mean, it's +1. We can bounce out of Tunis and, like, build in Rome, I guess. And then be like, no, France, stop hitting me. I know I can't do anything about it, but please?
Yep.
And then France is going to be like, I guess. Like, after Russia is dead, if all of my units are in the south and I'm not getting anything, England's going to attack me instead.
Yeah, that's what
I
you're hoping
guess.
for. As Italy, you're hoping for England to attack France as soon as possible right now.
Yep.
So
And
that's
to be
your
fair,
way
that's
out of it.
pretty. It's a good pitch because England's looking. France is going to be very exposed to any English step.
Yep, that's true. England's too far committed the other way right now, but as soon as England gets those builds on the board, it could
Yeah,
just
not
be...
too far committed. England is just committed to the other side right now.
Yes.
England committed perfectly. It was fine. All right, Russia, how are you going to survive this? I don't know. Russia's like going to lose the north and then just keep the pressure on
Well,
everywhere else.
Black Sea is gone, which is nice. So the Juggernaut's sort of locked in at this point. There's no good way for Turkey to stab. There's no way for Turkey to stab. They've only got one unit.
Not with Seth also being in Rum.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest stab would be just Turkey not leaving, but I think that's expected at this point.
Yeah. Sorry. So that's Russia's biggest asset is just that they've got Turkey on side.
Yeah, and that Austria is dead. So
that's true too. Usually in a Juggernaut you would have Turkey taking Serbia, Trieste, and then all of Italy area. But right now I don't know
if... get there, because Russia can just support Romania into Serbia.
That's true, but Russia can also... Like, maybe Russia doesn't even want to give Turkey all of that, because now Russia's lost most of the advantage they had in the north.
Yeah, so Russia's going to go after... maybe Russia goes after Trieste.
That's... Well, I mean, also the Austrian moves here are very specifically countering any attack on Trieste.
Yeah, but now there's an army in Bohemia.
Oh yeah, there is. Oh.
So
yeah.
That same move order doesn't work anymore.
It does work if they have Adriatic to tree.
Yeah. Which combined. They now need to add.
But then they're committing all 3 units to defending one center. And they're dead next year.
But Serbia's lost, right?
Yeah, Serbia's lost, Venice is lost. Okay, they're down to 1 unit anyway. It's so they're dead.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next moves.
So, fall 1903. Here, we have the death of the unit in St. Petersburg. We did have Norway moving to the Barents, but yeah, England got St. Petersburg. And England convoyed out of Belgium to Norway. I mean, it works.
I mean, it does capture it. And this way, France knows that England's totally not attacking him.
Yeah.
Germany knows there's nothing on Holland.
I mean, this feels like a Western triple at this point. Yeah.
At this point, yeah. Germany gets Denmark, so that's how they made that agreement work.
Yes, so Germany did get 1 center. I think that's the only pickup for this year, but 1 center is better than nothing.
Yeah.
England
Turkey's up
picks
too?
up... Oh, yeah, they got Greece and Serbia here. And they didn't take Constantinople, though. So they're at 1, right?
Oh, they did not take Con, and Russia did take Sev, excuse me. Turkey's only +1.
Interesting. So are they considering momentum to be more important than having this build here? I suppose maybe it was just agreed as part of the alliance that they need to be on more even footing.
Russia's getting clapped in the north. There's no pressure in the south. Let's get some northern builds.
Yeah. I still think... I feel like the Belgium move out is very questionable. It's committing very heavily to this Western triple, but that unit was so good there.
Yeah.
It could do so much.
Yeah, England could have just not.
But yeah, so... What else have we got here? Russia did go for Trieste. They got supported in by Italy. Which is, Italy going, screw you, Austria, I don't like you.
Which... Come on.
That's very reasonable. But Italy is in quite a lot of trouble here still.
Yes, because now there's a Russian fleet in Ionian, and there's a French army in North Africa, and a fleet in Tyrrhenian Sea.
Yeah.
And an army in Piedmont, not Tuscany, but...
Yeah. So, what else on the board here? We've got a convoy into North Africa. This is to provide more attack strength on Tunis, which is...
Yeah, that was expected.
Very reasonable. Move into Tyrrhenian Sea also works here. So, France is in a great position against Italy.
Again, Tunis, and now that England, I guess, moves into Wales and out of Belgium, I don't know. Yeah, France is looking better.
They still can't build in the north, like, if they get anything, until they move that army away. But now the English fleet is gone, that's going to be a lot easier. Uh,
Yeah, I don't
so,
think he's planning on building anything in North, though.
hmm.
I think
Uh,
France and Germany are saying, yeah, we're in a Western Triple, let's do this. You gotta break the juggernaut, so us three versus them two, let's see who dukes it out.
yep. Who ends up on top there, though? Because eventually they'll have to stab. Someone will. At the moment, England is...
This game ends in 1910, right?
That's true. But there's still 7 years. That's
Yeah,
a
but
lot of time.
yeah, and there's a lot of tactics that can be fought. I would not be
Yeah.
surprised if this game settles into Western Triple versus Juggernaut with Italy and Austria dead.
That's very
Five-way
possible.
draw, who wins?
I feel like England with that many fleets, though, how long can they stay in a Western Triple? They're
Good question.
getting... They went plus Sweden plus St. Petersburg, right? And then minus Denmark,
Plus
so they're
Sweden.
only...
So yeah, plus Sweden, plus St. Pete, minus Den. So
So
plus one.
they're only going plus 1. They can only get 1 extra army on the board. And there's not
Yeah, but
very much they can get with that.
possibly. How much is Russia gaining, right? Russia is minus St. Pete, minus Sweden, plus Sev, plus Trieste. So Russia's even.
Yeah. Russia's
Get us a
break
build
even, but they
still.
get a build from
Yeah,
the disbanded St. Petersburg.
probably in Warsaw. I could see Moscow though, but probably
Yeah.
Warsaw.
The German army in Galicia is...
A good place for an army. I like having armies in
yeah,
Galicia.
it's a long way behind the back line here.
It's
Germany
relatively easy to. Oh no, because there's nothing in Romania anymore. Yeah, that's gonna be very annoying.
just shows a very heavy amount of commitment to this Western Triple.
Yeah.
I think if it does come down to just Western Triple versus Juggernaut, Russia's just going to be demolished, and it will end up in a sort of 4-way fight between the Western Triple and Turkey. Turkey probably
Yeah.
wins overall by center count unless someone stabs on the other side of the board.
Yep. But someone's clearly going to stab if it doesn't look like they're gonna win.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. This
someone
is
in
a
the Western Triple
final
wins.
of like one of the highest level tournaments out there.
Fair.
So
I expect the next like many years to look like this, and then maybe in like 1908, people can start stabbing.
I would put the stab earlier than that. Maybe like around '06.
If England's doing the stab, I expect it to be in '06. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
I don't see why England wouldn't stab. They don't look like they're going to gain anything more. They could get Moscow, maybe. It takes a while. And then they could go on to Warsaw, Sevastopol, try and get that. But that's just... It's just wasting their amazing position here. In comparison to the rest of the West.
Unless by waiting longer they know they can get Germany and France to just throw more and more units away.
That's possible.
Which is just what I expect to happen here.
Shall we move on to the winter?
Let's do it.
Alright. So, Army Moscow, yep. Well, that's not what you
Not
predicted.
quite.
But
We thought Army Warsaw.
what's the benefit
I
of
don't get
Army
it.
Moscow? There's not much of a
Pete's an
benefit.
army. There's going to be an army in St. Pete kind of soon, I guess. You can bounce Norway.
Yeah.
But this gets supported anyways. No, I don't... what? What does this do? It can move into Warsaw. That's different from the army already being in Warsaw. That's a different move.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they do want the bounce there, but still having something back there to defend against potential Norway to...
But that's what Sev's for, right? Unless they're just having Sev go into Ukraine or something.
Sev to Ukraine makes sense with Galicia there. Yeah.
But, like, Warsaw can also go to Ukraine. Right?
That's true.
Like,
Interesting. We
I
did
don't
see the army build out of England, which was expected. England has to build armies.
If England built a fleet, I started, like, slamming my face into my keyboard.
Also, if they built a fleet, that's immediate indication they're not going with the Western
Yeah,
Triple.
they can't possibly be involved in this Western Triple, right?
Army Berlin from Germany, very reasonable, and
Necessary.
that's like their
There's an
only.
army in Silesia.
Yeah. Do we want to do power rankings very quickly? We've got a dead Austria, so that
Yay!
well, that was easy.
We got that bit right.
Goodbye, Austria.
Austria, we love you. You can't build a fleet in 01.
All right. Italy, way down at the bottom here. Unfortunately, they do have that they have managed to find their footing again, but
Yep,
squeezed
they're
between
back to where they should have been at the end of '01.
yeah, squeezed between the two nations next to them. That's just not going to work out very well for them.
Well, I think there's 3 nations next to
Sorry.
them, right?
Oh yeah, Russia, Turkey,
It's even
France.
worse.
The two alliances next to them.
Yeah, and so maybe Turkey can play the middle, or sorry, excuse me, maybe Italy can play the middle and be like, "Wow, you both need me. France, I'll support you into Tyrolia if you don't take Tunis," which I know is actually. I'll probably say, "Look, I'll support you into Tyrolia anyways. Take Tunis, it's yours. But you know what you could do instead? I could support you into Ionian and not do anything with it because they have to be on Ionian. I don't know, man. It's tough."
There's actually a video out there I really like, which is one of Triumvir 412's videos. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he does diplomacy commentaries as well. There was a game he had where pretty much this exact situation happened. You had a France versus a Juggernaut, and then Italy in the middle. And Italy, every turn, was just swapping which one he was support holding or which one he was helping out. And they were both keeping Italy alive way out into the late game because neither wanted the other to get it. That's very possibly what's going to happen here. But Italy's never going to expand, which is the problem.
Italy's not gonna get anything, but
Yeah. So Italy's still way down here at the bottom, even if they do manage to
England
recover.
has got to be first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. England, Turkey, I would say. I mean, I'm sort of taking away points from England in my mind for committing to this Western Triple. I don't think convoying out of Belgium
How
was
much
the right
has
move.
England committed, though, right? He did one convoy.
Yeah.
England can still stab at any point in time.
Okay, if he convoys back in very soon, I will accept this was, like, he's at the top. But
If not, you still think who's gonna end the game with more centers than him?
I mean, Turkey would be my number one thought. But, like, the other
Turkey's your
potential
number
is just if in this Western Triple, the people who are going to be making the gains are presumably France and Germany, right?
But, like, how much do they have to gain before they're a threat to
Okay,
England?
actually, they are never a threat to England, are they? Because England has 5 fleets here. And
Yeah,
between them,
England's
Germany
at
and
7.
France in the north have 1.
Yeah.
And in total have 3.
And that fleet in the north, by the way, is in Bosnia.
Yeah.
And not anywhere useful.
That
It's just
can't get out. Okay, yeah, I will concede England is at the top then.
England just has to be.
Russia's probably second to last here. I would say, just because they can't really get anywhere. They don't have any routes of expansion. And all of their borders are filled with people more powerful than them right now.
I guess it's tough for me to say they're second to last, given that they've still got 8 centers, which is the most.
Yeah, but center count isn't everything, right? I suppose if they
everything.
manage to hold on to everything they've got, but I'm just thinking if they do manage to... Well, Constantinople isn't theirs, really. It's temporarily theirs until Turkey wants it. Same thing could be said of Romania, but just the fact they're having to face off this Western Triple, while Turkey...
Turkey makes gains slowly
and
against
can
Italy.
stab them whenever it
Question mark?
wants. Okay.
Yeah, I'll certainly grant you that Turkey is higher than Russia because of the better stab potential. I'll grant you that, but I don't think that makes Turkey last. I think it's going to be tough. I think Germany is probably last.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. They've got no potential to turn around, really. And they've got no...
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, Italy is last.
Well, yes, sorry. Italy is last.
Italy is last. I didn't mean to make that clear. Germany is last of the players still on the board. Because I don't think Italy is really a player on the board. I think Italy is units that are going to support hold each other for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And not do anything useful. Sorry. So, of the real players, yeah, I think Germany's looking bad. And then France versus Turkey?
I would say Russia is worse off than France and Turkey. But...
Well, I'm first trying to look at just France versus Turkey here. I'd say France is in a better position than Turkey.
Hmm.
And if we determined that Turkey was in better position than France, then, or if we determined that Turkey was in better position than Russia, then we have the pecking order.
Okay,
I
so
want to go with that line.
yeah, because where is Turkey going to make gains? Their only immediate gains would
I
be from
guess at the same
stabbing
time,
Russia, so
at the same
maybe
time,
France
as
is
far as
better.
their likelihood of winning the game, though, France can never win. It's impossible. England can stab them at any point in time and stop France from winning,
Hmm.
right? So for that reason, I think we just have to say that Russia and Turkey are both higher because France can't win.
It's a really difficult position. Yeah, France. There's no way France is ever successfully stabbing England just because of the number of fleets England has. France's
And
chance of winning will come from stabbing Germany, but then they
but
need to
how's
work with
that gonna
England.
happen?
That's just
And you can't if it looks like France could win, England will stab.
yeah. All right. So, do you want to just put Turkey and Russia joint above those?
No, because I definitely think that Turkey's above Russia.
Okay, so there we have our order then. We've got England, Turkey, Russia, France, Germany, and then like way, way, way down Italy.
So far down.
Mm.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's
Right.
get
Let's move on to spring
so spring.
1904.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got England
Convoy
trying
into
to
Tyrol.
disband the Russian fleet up north. Well, successfully disbanding the Russian fleet up north, which is...
Is it successful?
Oh no,
I
it
don't think
isn't,
it was
because it
successful.
it got supported the other way, yeah. That was... Well, there's the reason for Army Moscow, I suppose.
Great. What's
Edinburgh...
that gonna do?
Edinburgh supports Piedmont to Tyrolia. Okay.
I didn't know you were allowed to input dummy orders like that. That's fun.
You can all input any dummy orders on Backstabber. That's one of the pros of the platform.
Is that a pro?
Well,
Anyways,
it's fun.
it seems like it's designed to make gunboat games.
Ooh. Look at this Turkey. Taking
Yeah.
Romania, taking Trieste, taking Constantinople.
And yeah, so it looks like Turkey's went for the stab here.
That's got to be a
Um,
stab, right? There's no way Russia would just give over all of those centers.
so Romania and Trieste, I understand, because Romania, you don't want Galicia moving into Romania, so you cover Romania so Germany can't move there, expecting to get either supported into Galicia from Romania with Ukraine the following turn, or for Romania to do something else. And
Yeah.
then Trieste, I can understand because you want to get into Tyrolia, and then Turkey just backfills into Trieste. Um, but also taking Con seems like Turkey said, "Yeah, give me all your centers."
Yeah.
But
Especially
Turkey only has two armies.
since the more logical route here would be Aegean to Greece and then Smyrna into the Aegean, right? But why would you take Constantinople in the spring if you were stabbing? I mean, you go through to
get in the
Black Sea. Yeah. So that's... I mean, that's
So
got
looks
to be a
like
stab. There's no way.
looks like Russia's about to get smoked.
Yep. That's not looking good for Russia at all. There is some potential this was arranged, but I think it's very, very low.
Because of the move into Con, this doesn't seem like it's arranged.
Yeah.
So France successfully gains Tunis, doing it in a weird way. It feels taking it with the fleet instead of the army.
Well, I mean, the fleet in Tunis is always more useful than the army. The problem is, how do you get the army back?
How do you get the army back? And now you have nothing that even touches Mid-Atlantic Ocean. So
That's true.
how does
Well,
France ever get home now?
I mean, he does because he's just been forced to retreat to the western
Oh,
mid.
excuse me.
But
Yeah, because Tyrrhenian Sea retreated into
But
whatever.
I would argue if the strategy was to get dislodged from Tyrrhenian Sea, then maybe it wasn't a great strategy anyway. It seems like he's just hemmed in at Tunis. There's no way to get further than this, right? He's only got two
Yep.
fleets, and Italy now has 3 fleets on that border.
This is why you gotta convoy yourself into Tuscany.
I mean,
Because once you're in
he's
Tuscany,
got the army
you can
in...
actually pressure. Yeah, but Piedmont's not Tuscany, and it got there more slowly,
Yep.
right? If if you go 2 turns ago, right, if his army's in Tuscany, he can actually be tapping Rome. He can be pressuring this, and so this move sequence, these don't work.
Mm.
But France didn't, and so now France is just stuck, and Italy is gonna sit around forever unless France can convince Turkey to stab Italy.
Yeah.
That seems likely.
Yep.
That was sarcasm, if anyone didn't catch it.
uh,
One thing that I'm curious about, why do you think that England didn't convoy Eddie to Norway?
that's a very good question and one I have no idea of the answer to. Why
Was
would
it
you
because
hold...
Germany got pissed at him for saying you can't have a fleet in the North Sea or I'm gonna attack you? Yeah. You think that was it?
That's very possible. I mean, I have no idea. I would never hold Edinburgh in this situation.
I guess his argument is saying, look, I'm not gonna do anything. Like, I need a fleet in Norway to pop Barents Sea for good this time.
Mm.
I think the army in Finland. Yeah, that's the argument, right? Because now Barents Sea is gone.
That makes sense. You can't get the fleet out of St. Pete's until that fleet in Barents is gone, and it's always a 50-50, right? And even if you win the 50-50 by...
You lose it by having him into St. Pete, which is potentially it.
Although you still have 3 units on there, so it's not... Well, you have 4 units on there, so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know if... I mean, it's tough to handle, right? These are why the fleet in the north coast of St. Pete's so obnoxious, because it's just tough to maneuver.
Yeah, you always want an army there if you can get one.
And I guess, therefore, this army in Moscow was useful, because it really did slow down England by a year.
Yep. That's true.
Okay. I don't think England's sad about this at all, because England getting slowed down a year just gives England a better excuse to stab people. Like,
yeah, I think...
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to make progress.
This makes sense with the... Why you wouldn't convoy Edinburgh right now would be if you had an arrangement to demilitarize the North Sea.
Yeah, that's
because
my point, right?
You can't convoy out via Norwegian if you're doing these moves. So you just hold it until the fall, and that's not a huge problem because hopefully you can take St. Petersburg in the meantime and still get your armies through at the same rate.
Unfortunately, the way these moves work, I don't think he's going to be able to convoy in Norway even in the fall.
That's true, because he has to use Norway to take Barents. So he's going to have to
use Norwegian and Norway to take Barents.
Yeah, he has to convoy in next year.
Yep.
Which is just so slow. What is England going to do with all these fleets as well? They're all stuck so far east. I feel like he's just giving away his advantage.
Yep.
But
pulling back Wales into Liverpool is going to give France all the space he needs to... Right, Liverpool, not Irish Sea, not North Atlantic, Liverpool. Gives France all the space France needs to rebuild into Brest, and suddenly France can actually hold a stab.
Yeah.
Germany still is toast. Germany is just too weak to hold. If England tries to stab him, Germany is still dead.
And there's no gains coming Germany's way. Yeah, no, I agree. Germany can't gain anything, right?
Well, and Russia's going to explode, right? Russia's losing like 1 million centers this year.
Yeah, but the only unit in position to take anything off Russia is Galicia, and that's a very guessy unit.
He has all the guesses, so he's probably going to get something at some point. And furthermore, Silesia or Bohemia are probably going to fall relatively soon. So, seems fine to me.
Okay, shall we move ahead to next year?
Do it.
Yeah, well, it's, fall 1904.
Yeah, we want to save a good amount of time for the end game.
Yeah. Oh, Germany, is that a stab or is that an agreed move into Sweden, do you think?
Probably agreed move into Sweden, saying, hey, you've got too many fleets, you don't need them. Let's get some of those off the board.
But also, Russia just, like, completely hemming England in the north here. England does go with the really slow approach, but the guaranteed approach of taking out that fleet in the Barents Sea.
Eddie hold fleet into Clyde, and France pulls into Spain's south coast.
the more important move for France, I feel, is Brest to Gascony, because that leaves him open to a stab on England right here, right?
Yeah, building a fleet in the north. The coordination between France and Russia here is huge.
Oh yeah,
Because
they
with
went
this
into
pullback,
Venice.
yep,
France
France
has
gets Venice and
2
Russia gets
builds.
Naples.
And Italy's just dead. Italy had a
One center.
really good position against France here. Well,
Yep.
no, not an amazing position, but a better position than you
Because
would
of this
expect.
Russian support into Venice, there's nothing.
It's all gone.
And then,
Italy's basically dead. They have 1 unit left.
yeah, I don't get these moves from Italy, but so even though Turkey stabbed Russia, right? So Turkey's +3.
So my assumption with
France is now working with Russia.
the Italian moves make complete sense if you assume he was like putting all his hope into Russia, because she can support Naples into Tyrrhenian Sea here and sort of make sure. Well, no, even then, Tyrrhenian doesn't get into Western Med most of the time, right? Unless you knew he was retreating. But also, the move up north clearly suggests Italy was expecting Russia to support Venice to Piedmont, and was hoping to stop the retreat into Tuscany with the Rome into Tuscany. But yeah, Italy's just
Italy's
dead.
1 center.
Yeah, there's no way
And
to hold
it
that.
looks like we're set up for an actual war between France and England, while Russia gets smushed between Germany and Turkey,
There's
with Turkey getting most of the gains.
no retaliation from Russia on the Turkish front, but there's not a lot she could have done.
Well, there was an attempt. Russia was attempting to support Galicia into Romania.
No, it's the other way. Romania into Galicia. That support is for the Turkish unit to get out of the center. So it
I
was
wish I knew how to tell that. But okay, I believe you.
the line goes along the same route that the move would go, and the circle's sort of towards the end of it. So you,
Oh, the circle's at the end. Okay, great.
if that makes sense.
Sure.
So imagine the line going towards the unit
Yeah,
it's
I see
supporting,
what you're
and
saying.
then
The circle's
yeah,
over Galicia, so the attack is from Romania.
from Romania to Galicia. Yes, I did wish Backstabber would show us the orders still, but
Yeah.
you can't ask for everything. But yeah, so it was an attempt by Russia to resolve the situation diplomatically by saying, okay, you
Yeah.
can push through.
You got these centers, right? You got Trieste and Romania. We're good. Let's keep the pressure on. And then Turkey's like, yeah, I like dots. Thank you very much. I appreciate your donation.
Yep. So
Much obliged.
Turkey just took advantage of the Russian inactivity and took Constantinople and Romania and Trieste and Black Sea and Adriatic.
Well, again, the point is the Black Sea wasn't going to change anyways. I think Turkey was inputting these moves no matter what.
Yeah.
But Russia didn't punish by attacking Trieste.
Or Romania.
Actually, maybe Albania would have supported Trieste if he didn't expect this.
Romania would have been the obvious place to attack, right? But then you have to move south.
I guess it's still really tough to you still have to pull Moscow to Sev. All right. I think Romania is natural as well.
Yeah.
I would have said Trieste because then once Russia retakes Trieste, she's got her line, right?
Yeah.
She can hold in the west, and it takes so long to get to the west. But losing the Black Sea means fighting for Romania is a losing battle here. But whatever, she's in really bad shape now because Germany is going to make pressure. England's in St. Petersburg now, and the Austrian dots are gone. So she's going to go down to Warsaw, Moscow, and nothing, probably within a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Naples. Excuse me. That fleet in Naples is a big deal.
Yeah. There's no easy way to knock that fleet out of Naples if she continues working with France.
With France. Yeah, so I think she's going to be alive in Naples at the end of the game.
I think, Warsaw, Moscow will probably hold as well just because of this whole dynamic of you don't want Turkey too strong, but you also don't want England too strong, so they'll both support each other.
Maybe, but Germany's in the mix still, and I think Germany's going to get pressure on Warsaw too quickly.
Actually, yeah, Germany has a huge amount of pressure on Warsaw already.
Not quite, right? Germany's
unit
in
adjacent,
Bohemia, right?
one unit adjacent right now, but they have the potential to get another one in Prussia and another one in Galicia, and Russia's got to be disbanding here.
Yep. So
Disbanding 2. Which 2 do you disband? Tyrolia has to be a disband, right? There's no... Well, it depends who you want to...
Bohemia and Budapest, so Trieste is a potential capture here.
Okay. So I guess it depends who you want to screw over.
I pop Livonia.
Yes. That makes sense.
I can see popping Moscow.
Just letting England in? Well, no, actually it doesn't let England in, does it? Because you've got Warsaw, you can still block.
Warsaw, but I would let England in. Because I'm going to say, hey, Turkey, you think you can race England? You can't. You gotta work with me, buddy.
Yep.
And I think that's a good line from her.
That's pretty much the only line she can do, right?
Trying to hold and keep... Trying to stop them from taking your centers, you have to pick one side here. And I would pick... Personally, I would pick working with England over Turkey, because I just think that Turkey just stabbed me.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
Maybe it's better to work the other way. Give centers to Turkey and tell England you have to work with me, but I just think that England is less of a threat to me than Turkey is.
Yeah.
So
also, if you throw centers to Turkey, Turkey just wins. There's nothing anyone can do against them if you're not fighting.
That's also true.
Shall we move forward to the winter?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so
England's power ranking.
Well, here we go. The French double fleet build, the German fleet build as well. England has a disband. Oh, from the German fleet taking Sweden.
Yeah.
So maybe that wasn't arranged. Well, that's probably not arranged.
Oh, I thought the point was they wanted to take away some of the British fleets, so England can go back to being the better composition. But given the triple fleet build in the north, all right, I no longer thinking throwing centers to England will actually accomplish anything.
Yeah, because
England's not doing anything.
So this is
England, no, you were doing so well.
This is why that convoy out of Belgium was a problem. Just committed so hard north when they had all the advantages.
England didn't get back in time.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, well, bye-bye, England. You lived a good life. Turkey wins.
So...
All right, do we have to watch the next 5 years, or can we just go? Because this one's done, right?
We'll see. It's not necessarily done, because France and Germany alliance could well make some progress against England here.
Oh, they're going to make progress against England, but, like, you think they're going to make more progress against England than Turkey is? Okay, you know what? If Germany and Russia truce immediately, and then Germany and Russia clap Turkey around, then yeah, I think this game can still be interesting.
The fact that Russia disbanded Budapest makes me think that's not going to happen. Yeah, Turkey is clearly in a strong position with these builds as well. But in the north, this is very typical.
The build here, right? Turkey, because Turkey covered Khan, he missed the build. He was +3.
Yeah. So I should say neither of us were right on the Western Triple stab point. 1905, well, going into 1905 was
going into 05 because there was a coordinated stab between France and Germany on England.
Yeah, and I think that's...
England was expecting one player needed to make the stab, not both of them simultaneously stabbing England.
So this is one of the very common outcomes of the Western Triple. Obviously, you have... most of the outcomes of the Western Triple are incredible for England, just because England gets the run of the mill in the north, while everyone else sends all their stuff south, and then England can just like pick and choose which person to ally and stab the other one.
Yeah, but because England said, I'm going to put myself in position to stab neither of you,
they both
gave away the advantage.
They both saw that England's fleets could be a problem in the long run, and they both took the opportunity as soon as they can to correct that. And I think that's perfect play from both of them.
Keep the fleets on their throats to say, yep, I'm in the English Channel. Yep, I'm in the North Sea. Yep, you going to attack me? Maybe that's not such a good idea, buddy.
Yep.
But instead, England pulled out of both of those critical strategic positions in an attempt to make friends, and those friends took his show of peace and stabbed him.
Okay,
Okay.
so power rankings here.
Turkey.
Italy is so far down they're not really in the running
Yeah, they're
anymore.
not on the list.
England is going all the way down to the bottom here. Should they be above Russia or not?
No.
It's. I think they could probably hold out better than Russia can.
I think Russia's a bigger threat to win the game than England.
Oh yeah, that's probably. I don't see any way England wins. So if these power rankings are
Well, we also
just.
didn't see any way that England lost, but
Alright, so Russia is probably next after England.
England.
And then up here, we've got, I think, Turkey on top for sure, right? After this.
What? I was saying Turkey. I was just chanting Turkey. Didn't you hear me? It's all Turkey from here.
Yep. So Turkey at the top.
Thanksgiving.
And then between France and Germany,
France.
France is like clearly in a better position, although
France is bigger, right? Yeah, France has an extra dot.
France has
France
one
is ahead.
extra dot. So
Yeah, France is ahead.
okay, but I'd say there's a big gap in the middle here between Germany and Russia. That's like the and then there's a big gap between England and Italy as well, because although maybe not even as big a gap as the one between Germany and Russia, because there's no chance that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, yeah, okay.
England has 6 centers, dude.
It depends
England
whether
is
you're
still-
considering it as a chance to win or
I
chance
think
to
that
like,
England
do well.
still has a big chance to win. I know this is looking bad, but like England is 6 centers is going to be in the North Sea and North Atlantic Ocean. Like, look, England's chances of winning is tough. I'll grant you that. But England's chances of winning from this position, I think, are still better than at the start of the game.
Maybe. I would say the fact that they've got an alliance against them would count against them for that.
But it's not. Look, there's an alliance against them, but that alliance isn't going to kill him quickly.
That's true. So
And,
yeah.
and as long as you're not dying quickly, right? There's chance for the board dynamics to shift.
Wait, so would you put England above Russia then?
I mean, I also think that Russia's not going to die quickly.
Well, let's leave them as is here, but yeah, okay, England and Russia have a chance, but I don't think it's a very big chance.
Yeah, and I also think that Russia has a better chance of actually, like, growing again, whereas England is going to sort of collapse like a flan for a little bit.
Right.
I could also see Russia just exploding, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm assuming that Russia's working with France here. So Trieste is going to be fought over, and if Russia and England are like, hey, we're both going to die here, let's not fight over St. Pete, then Russia's probably not going to lose Warsaw. So Russia might be okay for a while.
I'm confused as to why they kept Livonia, given...
Instead of Budapest?
Yeah. Budapest is keepable, right?
It looks to me. Maybe he thinks, oh, there's a bunch of pressure on England, I can capture St. Petersburg?
Maybe. Maybe that is... yeah. Maybe that is the approach.
I mean, if I'm England, I still just have Berent support St. Pete now.
Yeah.
So, good luck. But
I guess,
maybe.
shall we move forward and see
Let's do it.
what's
Let's see
happening?
some moves.
Alright. Spring
Well,
1905.
Russia's
Okay.
genius, we suck.
Turkey stopped attacking Russia. Well, no, they didn't stop attacking Russia at all. Never mind.
Yeah, Turkey just decided that this is the best way to attack Russia.
Yes. How did... Oh, Turkey got Italian support.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's smart and shows why you should
good
never...
for Italy, man. That's real good.
Don't ever count yourself out of a game. Don't ever
But
count
I mean, look,
anyone else out of a game. Always
Italy's not
consider...
going to win, but like, yeah, Italy can still mess with people.
Yep. Always consider that even if you've stabbed someone, they can still work with you.
Yeah, if
This
they
is
want
good
to
play
screw
from
other
Turkey.
people more.
Avoiding Budapest, obviously looking at the moves now, it looks like a bad move, but it was very
Yeah,
likely to
that's
be
fine.
defended.
I think moving into Serbia is good.
And setting up with this convoy here into Romania and going into Armenia, there's no way Russia can hold St.
Oh my god,
Sevastopol.
Turkey feels terrible now. So remember, I think unless I'm crazy here, I think Turkey's still operating under one less unit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So Turkey is
Oh.
operating under one fewer units this year than they had last year. They moved from Aegean into Khan, denying themselves the build, and then moved back into the Aegean Sea the following turn.
But they
Right.
couldn't have got the build anyway because Constantinople was Russian.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Excuse me, I'm a moron. That's right. Because they didn't capture Constantinople earlier. Yeah, they needed
Yep.
to do that.
So that's a big reason why things like Russia taking Constantinople or Turkey taking Sevastopol or Italy taking Trieste in the early game are so effective at keeping you locked into these alliances, because in order to
This
stab,
is so annoying.
you have to not only take your own centre back, you then have to wait a year to be able to build in that centre. You can't build off the bat because you've just put a unit
yeah,
there.
of course. I'm an idiot. I just of course.
But yeah,
but anyways,
Turkey
feels real bad.
Turkey still managed to make the stab, but yes, it was a less effective stab than it could have been if they'd already owned Constantinople. Although it's still a pretty effective
I could even
stab.
have seen an argument to just like not taking Khan again.
Maybe, I think taking the unit off of Russia was pretty good considering it came out of Budapest.
Considering it ended up being in Budapest, yes. That's very good. But yeah, so...
Yeah, so Adriatic
be losing some stuff.
bounces in Tunis, not much, well... France, Russia are going to be able to hold out here for a little while.
What do you think about the French retreat into Piedmont instead of Tuscany?
What is it even to block? It doesn't seem to be blocking anything, right?
Yeah, and Tuscany would be pressuring Rome.
Oh, I wonder if it's just in case Germany comes back through to Burgundy. They've just put a lot of units on this front.
Pulled all their units to the west. Like,
yeah. I would not be surprised to see Piedmont go back to Marseille, just in case. Especially since you can't really take... Well, no, you can take Venice back with Russian help, but does Russia prioritize your center over theirs, is the question.
I wonder. But yeah, Russia got themselves back into St. Pete. She's looking good.
Also into Trieste, which...
Yes.
She can keep, but it's sort of a guess between Trieste and Budapest. Oh no, she can't keep because Adriatic is the...
Yeah, but I'm kind of assuming that Rome is messing around with Venice.
Oh yeah, that's... Well, is it?
Piedmont.
Rome just helped Turkey. So
yeah,
maybe...
but I expect this Italy to know what he's doing and to be just messing with everyone at all times.
Italy is the agent of chaos.
I mean, yeah, chaos is the only way he stays alive, right? So
yes. Let's have a look at North England's defense.
I mean, it was moves that were input. That's about all I can say for him.
Backing out of St. Petersburg is a bit of a...
Backing out of St. Petersburg, but also keeping yourself in Barents Sea. What was the point of this, right?
I mean,
why didn't Clyde go to North Atlantic Ocean while Barents Sea goes to Norwegian Sea?
Yes.
Why this?
This is a very the move to Sweden is weird.
The move to Sweden I'm okay with. I would expect Sweden to do many things. Not necessarily move to Norway. Like if Sweden moves to Skag, this feels real smart.
But why would Sweden move to Skagerrak?
Because you're moving to Skagerrak.
Oh, to block... Yeah, okay, so the sort of...
Right.
England's got to be doing the move down to Skag, so I can move to Skag, and then England sort of double thinks that and says, okay, I'm going to Sweden, and then he'll go to Skag, and then Germany thinks, no, I'm just going to Norway.
Or Germany's just like, I want to tap Norway.
Yeah. Tapping Norway, maybe even to help the Russian in, but...
Anyways,
now.
I really don't like this move, because if you move into so okay, obviously these moves look terrible because he guessed wrong.
Yep.
Right? But these are the likely guesses. Is Russia going to go to Finland instead? Because that's the other guess.
Germany going to go to Finland.
Or sorry, excuse me. Is Germany going to go to Finland? Because unless Germany goes to Finland, you're going to capture Sweden if you just have Norway do nothing.
Mm.
Right? And
Yep.
I really, really, really value a fleet in North Atlantic Ocean. I think that's like quite important.
Yeah, against France, it's just
And
incredible.
so, as a result, I feel like Clyde needed to go to North Atlantic Ocean or Irish. Can't go to Irish Sea because it's Clyde. But I think that move is just really important.
I think
And we can't see that anymore.
England's still good on the defense just because an army in the United Kingdom is incredibly good at defending everything, especially in Yorkshire.
Yes,
But it's
it's
going
still
to
guessing.
crumble. Yeah.
It's still guessing. Like, this convoy can go to Wales or London,
Hmm.
and you have to guess that. The fleet in the Mid-Atlantic Ocean is going into Irish Sea. You can't stop it because you're not in North Atlantic Ocean, so they don't even have a guess over there.
Yep.
Like,
And they've
the
got two
saving
units on
grace,
north. That's just
the
yeah.
saving grace for England is that this fleet in Marseille didn't go to Spain's south coast. They went to Gulf of Leon instead.
Yep. It
If this
looks
is in Spain's south coast, it's going to the Mid-Atlantic Ocean next, then England's looking just toasty toast. But
yeah.
England is going to capture Sweden this turn, right? So, like, yeah,
Yes, they
England's
are.
up Sweden, minus St. Pete, but, like, Germany's not going to get anything
They're
because
gonna
Germany
get
didn't go to Denmark.
Germany's
But,
gonna get Belgium. That's still English.
yeah, Germany's going to get Belgium. Sorry, I just sort of forgot about Belgium because England can never hold Belgium. But,
Yep.
you know, like, Belgium is not really a center that England's ever worried about defending in these positions. So, like, Germany's not getting anything important, I should
Yeah.
have said.
That's well. I mean, it's the +1 on. So England does end up going -1 total.
Yeah, but, like, what? That fleet in Brentsea is looking really useful, right?
Yep. So that's a fine thing to take off the board.
Honestly, England's not even guaranteed to take Sweden if Russia tries to mess him up.
Yep.
She can cut Norway or Finland.
I guess we'll have to see on that front. So, should we just advance to the next phase, or is
Let's see some tactics.
okay? Fall 1905. This is halfway point. We should probably speed up a little bit past this because I think you have to
Yeah,
go
but
in
the
an
halfway
hour,
point
right?
is when things can start speeding up.
But yeah, well, let's have a look at this. We've got Russian support of France, which is pretty
Expected.
expected. We've got,
Hey, look, Rome did cut Venice. Eh?
but it got supported there by the Turk. Adriatic supported Rome into Venice, and then Venice went down to Apulia, which is
Which
interesting.
worked. Italy gained Venice, right?
Italy got in.
Oh, but Italy lost Rome.
Yeah.
But Italy was losing Rome anyways.
I guess they figured Italy's going to lose Rome. We should just
this way that France doesn't have Venice.
I wonder why. Oh yeah, okay. I mean, it means that Turkey-Italy alliance has 3 units on this front instead of 2.
Oh my god, France makes me so sad.
France
moved
losing.
into Western Med.
Is that bad?
I hate it. I hate it so much. What's it doing down here, man?
It can rotate around to England now, but it can also stay on.
But if it was going into Mid-Atlantic Ocean next, why didn't it go to Spain last turn and then Mid-Atlantic Ocean this turn?
Yeah, that would have been more. Just the fact that Spain could have gone to
It should
Western
have
Med
gone
as well.
north.
But it's possible he thought he was doing something else on the
From Leon,
Italian front.
like supporting into Tuscany, support holding Piedmont,
Okay,
support
that's not
holding
what they could
Tyrrhenian
have done.
Sea. What if these things sound useful to you? Like, okay, from Western Med it can go to Tunis, I guess, and it can, like, pressure the Ionian now with the fleet in Naples. That's his line. That's gotta be his line. It just feels like a really sad line. Which is why I'm sad.
Alright. Russia did actually manage to keep Trieste, but lost Budapest in the process.
Yeah, but gained St. Pete, so Russia's building.
And didn't lose Sevastopol. Somehow.
Yeah, because... Okay, that was another guess. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is definitely the... I mean... Of the misses for Turkey, this is the better...
Yeah.
The better miss.
I'm debating, like, why did Turkey go for the potentially blocked move to Budapest instead of just taking the guaranteed Sevastopol? maybe they thought it puts them in a better position in the long run, but it still seems a little bit questionable to me.
Yeah, particularly if Budapest gets bounced, his convoy also gets bounced.
Yep. And he doesn't make any gains. He does manage to take Sevastopol. Well, Sevastopol in the next year because there's nothing they can do to stop that.
If he gets bounced out of Budapest with his current order sheets, he's still losing Trieste, so he just disbands. No, he doesn't disband because he still was +1 for the previous year.
Yes. Okay.
So he doesn't pop, but he just doesn't grow.
Maybe he's just thinking. Maybe he's trying to regulate his power level. I don't know if I'm looking too deeply into it with that, but if he's looking to be running away with it, then maybe something bad happens on on the board. I don't know.
It feels to me like, yeah, but Germany's already working with Russia and France against him. So,
I mean, maybe no, never mind. I was gonna say something like maybe this was arranged with Russia as a way to slow his expansion, so that Russia, maybe they made some sort of mutual agreement. But there's no way Russia would support the French if they were doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to see some builds, and let's just keep.
All right. So on to winter.
Okay. Right. So England popped Sweden. Russia builds Warsaw.
Oh yeah, we didn't point out England did take Sweden last time, and they bounced.
Oh, I mean, it was guaranteed. It had to happen.
Yeah, England managed to make some pretty lucky guesses, bouncing out of North and out of London.
Wait, the guess out of North wasn't a guess.
Wait, sorry, I need to go back a phase quickly to have a look at this stuff. Yeah, okay, it wasn't a guess.
Bouncing out of London is a guess.
It was a guess in that English Channel could have supported the German into North Sea.
And not convoy? No. Bad.
I find the French move to North Atlantic instead of Irish Sea a little bit questionable as well.
Highly questionable.
Because
he can't support himself into Wales.
Precisely.
The Wales! You gotta save the whales. Or if not save them, kill the whales because you're French. So he needed to be an Irish Sea to support himself into Wales and then support himself into Liverpool, and England is popped.
Yep.
But instead, England is not popped, and just everything is sad.
Yeah.
Everything is roses for England. England's still on the board.
I don't think there's any way North Atlantic is better than Irish, except for pushing another unit into Irish, which isn't going to happen for a little while.
Yeah, the other point is now England can't move Norwegian Sea into North Atlantic. So now if France wants to bounce him out of Liverpool... Actually, that's a really good argument. If England bounces France out of Wales, France just takes Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But
although it does mean Norwegian could move to North Atlantic and then just support him straight back into Liverpool.
Exactly. So at the end of the year, you're not necessarily plus Liverpool. The counter argument is, yeah, but now if I'm England, I go sneaky and I convoy into London and go after Liverpool. Haha, I have to get one. And then you get bounced out of London and get kicked out of Liverpool. But then he gets into London anyways. But not if England is back in the North Sea by that point, which is looking likely. All in all, very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad, France.
Let's have a look at these builds. Germany didn't go +1 because they lost Sweden and gained Belgium, so no orders there. But Russia did get a build somehow. I wasn't looking to see where that came from.
So it didn't lose. So it gained Trieste and St. Pete, but only lost Budapest.
Yes. Okay.
So +1.
So still holding on there, although the position's not great still.
The position's fantastic. What? Germany's working with them. That Galicia army, that's a Russian army, dude.
Okay, if that's a Russian army, yes, I can say that's a pretty good position.
Not going anywhere anytime soon.
Smyrna build being a fleet is also good for Russia because it means Armenia is empty.
Yep, Sev's not getting popped anytime soon.
Interesting. So maybe Russia's gone up a bit on the power rankings.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've gone above anyone's, but well...
We had him above England already, so...
Yeah.
Nope, I don't think they got anywhere.
Okay, so what's the total order at the moment? Considering the moves here, We've got
France number one. France number one.
France above Turkey? I suppose, actually, because Turkey can't make much progress against
Turkey's
Russia
not
here.
growing. France is going to be growing.
So, France goes above Turkey. The whole argument that France couldn't win because of England's fleets has sort of been nullified by the fact that England got
lose
hit
all of its
so
fleets away
hard.
and then lost all the fleets.
Yep.
Uh,
Although some of the France losing that bounce here, also going up to North Atlantic instead of Irish Sea, I think takes a little bit away, but not enough that it's not top.
oh yeah, it's a minor, and honestly, not even necessarily a mistake. I can see people making enough arguments about these boys between London and Liverpool that this ends up actually just being equivalent to Irish Sea. And
Yeah.
because it's equivalent, I could see the better argument because now England can't get into North Atlantic. So I can see it being better than Irish. I disagree with it though, but I don't think we should be taking anything away from France because of it.
Where do we put Germany on the power level? Because they do have the chance to build army No, they don't. They don't have any builds. Never mind. They have managed
Russia
to
lower
get
than everybody else.
You think they're lower than England?
I feel like they should be lower than England. Maybe they're not.
I don't
Yeah,
see.
actually, they're higher than England. They can step France.
I don't
Look at
see
that
how
stab coming.
England recovers well from this, or anywhere
Yeah,
near as
that's
well
fair.
as Germany has.
I'll give you that.
So,
Germany, stab France right now. Do it.
So would you put Russia
Germany and
above
Britain.
England or England above Russia?
Russia above England.
Alright, so
England
these...
went down one, Russia went up one. We have solved my
Right.
thinking. See,
I think I
Russia's
already
at
had...
7, England's at 5. Therefore, Russia is stronger than England.
Alright, so I think the only thing that changed here was France and Turkey
France number
swapping
one.
around.
France number one.
Alright, so shall we move on to the spring of 1906? This is,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, look at that.
Well, the
Alright.
convoy into Wales is nice.
Yeah, the convoy into Wales worked, and he kept England out of Norwegian Sea by trying to move into Norwegian Sea.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Also, wait, Germany supported England into the North Sea, though.
Yeah. And
took Sweden, but England took St. Petersburg.
England retook St. Pete because Russia didn't defend it, because Russia attacked Germany.
Is this a...
What?
What?
And Russia supported...
Okay,
Turkey
so...
into Tyrrhenian Sea.
It looks like Russia-Turkey, the juggernaut, is coming back again.
They're friends.
I don't... obviously, bear in mind we can't see the press here. We need to see the press for a situation like this. It's possible...
I think this is clearly that Russia and Turkey are friends.
Yeah, no, I mean...
They're best buddies.
From the previous phase, it's actually possible they were already getting this ready. With the whole move into Budapest, convoying out of Armenia into Romania. It makes a lot more sense now that he didn't take Sevastopol. But we don't know whether this was a last-minute thing or whether this was something they've been planning for a while. And we can't see that right now.
And Turkey kept Italy on the board, so Italy helped Turkey into Rome. So Turkey's just going to win this game again, right?
Turkey had a very solid turn.
Turkey's just going to win the game, because Turkey was number 2, and then he got Russia to put himself into a terrible position tactically again against him, right? Turkey can still attack Russia whenever he wants, and now France is losing.
Should be considered that Turkey does not have any units adjacent to Sevastopol anymore, which is...
Sorry?
Turkey does not have any units adjacent to Sevastopol now.
That's true, but I feel like taking Sevastopol as Turkey is always really easy. Russia doesn't have that can ever go into the Black Sea.
That's true.
They always do.
And Turkey can very easily take Vienna and Trieste.
Yeah, at this point. So, well, I mean, maybe Trieste is just a concession to Turkey. Turkey's already getting Rome. Man, Turkey's really good. Turkey won this one last time, right? So does it make sense that Turkey's going to win it again?
Turkey was the champion last year.
This game is anonymous, right?
I don't think this game was anonymous. I'm not sure though.
No. Well, in that case, people aren't thinking straight because they clearly gotta smack the winner around.
Yeah.
By the way, England is smoked, just so everyone knows.
England is in a bit of a pickle.
England's losing Liverpool and London this turn, assuming Germany taps North Sea.
And Sweden at the moment.
Yeah, Sweden's lost.
Germany...
And I don't expect him to hold St. Pete. Oh, wait, excuse me. Moscow didn't get bounced.
Yeah, so...
I assumed a self-bounce was going to be happening somewhere.
So England actually does
so he's not losing St. Pete.
St. Petersburg. It just seems like... well, I wouldn't have expected England to turn around as Russia, so I think her moves make some degree of sense, but still, moving everything out is a little bit...
Whatever.
No, it's fine. It's to get rid of the German unit, yeah? Everything here is to get rid of the German unit.
Pop Galicia. It must go.
It took, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
There are
units.
a lot of spaces Galicia can retreat to.
Yep.
But Munich is now going to be Russian.
Yep. There's nothing Germany can do on that front.
There's nothing I believe anyone can do on... Oh, I take it back. There's a guess if Turkey wants to.
Oh, because Turkey can... No,
in
Turkey
Galicia,
can't.
right? Turkey could bounce.
Oh, yes.
Sil or Bow, while goes to Munich.
Yeah.
So.
But that would be a weird turnaround after the alliance with...
But I could see Turkey saying, okay, great, you let me into Trieste and gave me the power over Vienna, so I'm just going to go back into the Black Sea and just kill you.
Yeah, but I don't think their first move there is tapping Bow or Sil. I think it's probably moving back towards...
probably doing something about anything
Vienna.
else. I agree. Yeah.
So the German moves are interesting because they've got that support of the English fleet out, but it also they're not going against France. So I assume that support is just a sort of throwaway move.
Yeah, like if he's self-bouncing in North Sea, in theory, I want him in the North Sea rather than Skag.
Yeah.
I guess.
That makes sense. That is probably what that fleet was doing, trying to get Skagerrak out of Skagerrak.
Yeah.
So yeah, Germany's still anti-England as far as we can see.
Yeah, but we'll see if it cuts North Sea. If it cuts North Sea, England is losing Liverpool and London. If Germany is not anti-England, then England is probably only losing Liverpool.
Yes.
And Sweden, of course, but Sweden is of course gone.
Yep. So, is there anything else to talk about here? It looks like the situation in Italy was quite an interesting one, but it's mostly just explained by the fact that Russia swapped sides. Right. France trying to support Naples into the Ionian is kind of weird because what would happen to Naples itself if that went through? But
look at the moves.
Well, have you moved forward, or are you looking at the moves down?
I looked at fall 1906.
Okay, I will move forward to that.
Oh my god. What just happened?
Where do I start reading this? Well, first thing, Italy is dead.
Yeah, Italy is off the board. Bye-bye, Italy. You lived a good life. We were rooting for you near the end there.
Russia moved into Romania?
Does England build 3?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Does England build 3?
Why did Germany and France turn around?
I think England builds 3.
England...
And one of those is from Moscow.
Moscow?
That Russia can't recapture.
What? Okay, so...
What just happened?
Did England build 3 or does it build 2? I think it took Denmark and Moscow, but it already owned Sweden, so that's not a build.
Oh, England didn't lose... Oh, Sweden was already it. Okay, England only built 2.
But that turnaround, though... Oh... What?
All right.
Well, okay, so
excuse
clearly what
everything.
happened is they noticed that France and Russia had teamed up, and not France and Russia, Turkey and Russia had teamed up, and England maybe convinced Germany and France, or maybe Germany and France just decided by themselves, we need to turn around entirely
There's
and
no
stop
way
them.
England makes these moves if they're not communicating with England.
Yeah, so maybe
England
they
knew they were
agreed.
going all in to fight the evil juggernaut, and we're just going to leave all their centers to England.
Well, I mean, clearly, I would assume they were not expecting England to give to Denmark.
No.
But they told England their plan, and then, bam,
Yeah, we're going
goodbye
on the
Denmark.
defensive. We're not going to let Russia take Berlin, and you can get Moscow. You can like convoy your army into Norway and get back into St. Pete, like you were talking about all those years ago, and like you were so happy and back then. We're gonna do it all now.
Yep. The convoy back to Picardy, and then I guess he's still got the fleet in the English Channel, but it's just England's
like-
position is so much better.
Yeah, England's all right. See, this is why you never count people out.
Yep.
See, Captain Meme, England had 6 units, therefore England's not dead. See?
Yep. That's very reasonable. So we did actually have Galicia going to Bohemia, but it wasn't to tap. It was presumably just to backfill.
Yeah.
I would assume Ukraine to Romania was agreed on.
Probably, because
Probably as the
they're
swap
taking.
to Trieste.
Yeah, because he's still getting Venice. He also got Rome.
Oh, he didn't take Trieste, did he? He went through into
Yeah,
Venice. So
Exactly.
does Russia get built here, despite losing Moscow?
Russia's up Romania minus Moscow.
Minus Moscow, no, he
plus
doesn't
Munich.
Oh, he does,
So-
yes.
Looks like +1 to me.
Right. So, despite the English unit just being in the Russian heartland, they still managed to build on the outside of that.
Yeah, they build in Sev, probably. Actually,
Alright.
there's nothing next to St. Pete. Interesting. All right, let's look at some builds.
Yep. Let's move forward to the builds of 1906. Got a fleet in St. Petersburg.
Fleet, South Coast, St. Pete. Let's go.
Is that
Oh,
some sort
yeah.
of negotiation with England as to attacking Germany together?
Look, I'm going to
don't
attack Germany,
know.
alright? This
Why?
can't be.
Why on earth would that not be an army? Why would you?
Alright, well,
I assume there's some reason for it not being an army, but it just seems like a very weird choice.
Fleet Khan instead of Fleet Smyrna. Is Turkey going to stab Russia again?
It looks possible, but they don't have any army units at home.
But
They
it's a
do.
Fleet Khan instead of Fleet Smyrna. Why not Fleet Smyrna? I don't understand.
I mean, maybe they wanted to self-bounce Bulgaria or something. I don't know. But the. I mean, if Turkey did stab Russia, they can just walk into Vienna and Trieste, right? And get +2, and then Russia's still out of it. I'm just still amazed at this England army. Obviously, England building 2 fleets is actually fine here because England's more on the defensive than they were. They're not looking to take as much from the mainland as
opposed to
from the
kicking out
coast.
these French fleets, yeah.
Yeah.
But then why Fleet Eddie instead of Liv?
That's also a weird choice. Maybe they're deliberately only stabbing Germany and working with France. That seems like the obvious
It has
answer.
to be. But even still, Germany just popped his fleet.
Hmm.
Whatever, dude.
Maybe we see the EF here. Should,
Yeah, let's just get some moves
should
going.
we just do power rankings very quickly? England
Oh,
goes...
power rankings? Yeah, so basically England and France sort of swap places.
France isn't in the worst spot, but it's definitely not winner's choice anymore, I think. I feel like
Why
Germany's
didn't
in...
France just kill England? Oh my god!
Italy's gone, right? We've got...
Yeah, Italy's off the board, finally.
So we've
I
got...
don't expect anyone else to get eliminated before the end of the game. I think from here we have our players.
Right.
Germany's the only one who might get eliminated, but he's not going to go. I feel a fighter in Germany. I think, this is on PoserTom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think PoserTom's going to kill it.
I do not actually know who PoserTom is, but they did pretty well through the they did really well in the pre-final stage. So as did all these players, to be honest. But so would you put Turkey on top still or Britain on top? I think it's still Turkey, right?
Turkey.
Turkey, then Britain, then France, then Russia, or Russia, then France?
Yeah, we've been really schizophrenic with our power rankings this game. I'd argue it's because the alliances in the sport have been so schizophrenic.
Yep. They've been all over the place. I mean, that's sort of the if you...
hallmark of better diplomacy play, right? Because if you're in an alliance that's bad for you, and you ride it out too long, it's really bad for you.
Yes.
You're not
I think
playing properly, but...
Yeah, that makes sense. The hallmark of... Yes, the hallmark of a good player is switching alliances when it's definitely not in your favour. But on top-level boards, you often do see alliances hold just because the players are good enough to balance
Yeah,
it
they
correctly.
make alliances that are more beneficial for both players instead of these so one-sided alliances that we've seen so frequently in this game.
Yes, but yeah, this is definitely a way of playing it at a high level. It's just we're not seeing as much alliance play in this game as
we're expecting, and maybe that's because we're used to players trying to solo.
That's true. Alliance play
Versus
is
this game.
alliance play is. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Say what?
Sorry. Alliance play is very, very focused on soloing, right? Because as two people, you can push over that stalemate line and then stab your ally later. Whereas if you're just one person on your own jumping back and forth between these alliances, you're going to get stopped at that stalemate line. Yeah.
Yep. So, I don't know. I want to see some more moves.
Alright, let's move forward then. Spring 1907. Assuming my internet is working. Yes, it is. I hope I wasn't cutting out too much there. I assume that was the problem. Alright, so what have we got here? Have we lost Ezio? This is the question.
Hello?
Hi. Have we lost you, or are you still here?
No, I'm still here. Sorry, I got distracted. People messaged me on Discord, and I got now. Needed to alt-tab.
That's why I've got my Discord notifications turned off.
Yeah, streamer mode does that for you, but I'm not streaming, so I don't have that.
Yep.
That advantage.
Alright, so here we've got England getting even more of an advantage here as France just turns around entirely. And England gets into Heligoland and North Sea, and Germany doesn't even retaliate at all. Which is reasonable considering his position is due to Russia, but yeah, that's his choice, I suppose. So what are the interesting moves here? We've got this giant clash between Germany and Russia in the center, which is kind of expected. It's always a guessing game over here, in that Prussia or Silesia could go to Berlin with Munich's support and Silesia support, but then it fails against Kiel supporting Hold Berlin and Ruhr cutting Munich, or you can push Munich up as they tried to here, which fails against Berlin being supported down. So it was always a 50-50. Russia-Turkey side lost the 50-50. Arguably, just Russia lost the 50-50 because Turkey didn't really gain a lot from Russia gaining there. What else have we got here? In the south, Turkey's fleets rotating around, going for the slow play, which is fine.
Fine.
Yep.
Turkey's not losing nothing.
And staying in a good position to stab Russia with that move to Ankara, just like hovering around the Black Sea, ready to jump in when...
Oops, it was a misorder. I meant to type Aegean. I'm so sorry. I'll move back into Khan and then back into Aegean next year. I know that I'm building, and I could build an army in Smyrna and Ankara and, like, attack you again, but I promise I won't do that, because I'm a trustworthy ally. Yep, I'm definitely not going to, like, stay in Trieste or like move into Vienna and backfill Trieste and into Black Sea. Nope, I wouldn't do that.
I
You
think
can trust me because I've been good to you this game.
as Russia here, as a high-level Russia here, you kind of just have to expect that Turkey's going to stab you at some point. But what choice do you have, really?
Truce with Germany.
Truce with Germany would help.
You have to do that move.
How fast can you get back and turn things on Turkey is the question.
You can get into Galicia and Ukraine quickly.
Except the English army in Moscow is a bit irritating.
Yeah, but that's why you can get... So then you go, instead of going into Galicia... Yeah, and Ukraine, right? Ukraine's really good. Prussia to Warsaw, Warsaw to Ukraine, Silesia to Galicia. Also, I suspect that Russia doesn't care too much about the English army in Moscow because he built the fleet in St. Petersburg. If he had an army in St. Petersburg, maybe it would indicate that I care about Moscow and will do anything at any point to deal with it.
Yeah.
Instead... but he also tried to bounce it out of Sev. I don't know, dude. Russia is doing what she wants to do, and I think she's going to get stabbed by Turkey again and die.
Right.
But she's got 8 dots. She's doing great.
It's a strong position from the point of how many dots you have, but not from where those units are, unless Turkey stays with her throughout, which I don't think will happen. Romania does have the potential to just walk into Bulgaria here, which is interesting.
Can also walk into Budapest or Serbia.
Yeah, it could walk anywhere, to be honest. But I assume, Turkey can't really retaliate against that because it's not got the builds coming in, and all its units are pushed west, a long way west. But then so are Russia's, so it would be. But yeah, I can see that a stab on Turkey would be possible. I suppose, anyway, I think England gains a lot of win equity here.
England gains a lot of win equity. I expect England to attack France. Stat.
Well, I mean...
I just feel it.
England could just keep taking these German centres around the back for the moment if he doesn't want to aggro France, essentially.
I guess.
But,
I think he can do both.
It's, definitely possible.
Take Kiel, take Holland, and take Brest.
Bear in mind, we did see France do the safest possible moves against any English attack for, the first half of the game, so you've got to expect some sort of defense of Brest, especially if London to English Channel wasn't
From
arranged.
France?
Yeah.
Fair. I think that's possible.
Picardie's
but I also think we're at a different stage in the game, and lots of people play super passive in the opening and then just go crazy in the mid game.
I guess we'll see if that happens.
And we're in the type of mid game where people go crazy.
I really want to see what Tunis is convoying, but we can't.
Tunis is convoy? Tunis can convoy?
Tunis was told to convoy something.
Alright, great.
But anyway, into the fall, I guess.
Into the unknown.
Hey,
I'm a genius.
What?
Look at me go.
What?
I called it.
I
called everything.
Why did England convoy Berlin to Sweden?
I take it back. I did not call everything. But look, you took Holland, took Brest, you tried to walk into Kiel. Maybe it's a misorder. Maybe he meant to support Denmark into Kiel. What is going on? What? England?
This is a moment where we need to see the press.
From Moscow into Ukraine.
So, as a heads up, Nexus Diplomacy Tournament is all on a Discord server. It's also on a website called, I think it's diplomacynexus.com or nexusdiplomacy.com.
Why haven't these people just given us their orders?
They'll all be writing AARs afterwards, or a lot of them will, after action reports, and I cannot wait to see the
Fall? Sorry, this is the spring 1907, right?
It's fall 1907, yeah.
Sorry, fall 1907.
Baltic
what is with
convoy Berlin to Sweden. This is like the chess move that you write 3 question marks down next to. I assume it's
not
to
an
keep...
exclamation point, a question mark.
Yeah,
So just so we're clear, Russia gained Budapest, Moscow, and Berlin.
Wow. Yes, they did, because England just moved
Didn't
into
lose Trieste.
Ukraine. Didn't lose Trieste,
Didn't
indeed.
lose Munich.
Uh,
So, when you're saying that, like, Russia's in this really weak position, right? And, like, she's gonna die, I think she's up to 11.
apparently, she's doing fine, and Turkey
And
gained
England gained Brest
nothing.
and Holland, but lost to Sweden. Question marks. Next to losing Sweden, but did lose Sweden.
This is. I mean, I've got to assume Berlin convoyed to Sweden was because they knew they were going to lose Berlin anyway, and maybe England offered it as a way to keep Germany on side, and maybe Germany said, if you give me this center and let me survive, I'll help you win.
Yeah, I'll
Something
go
like
into
that.
Burgundy and we'll kill France together.
Yeah, but
But
it's
because of the
just
Munich move into Burgundy, that got bounced. So it was supposed to be like a trade of Sweden for Kiel, I guess.
something like that. Yeah. Um.
Well, alright, I need to see builds. I need to see what on earth
Let's
is
just.
this universe.
I mean, in the
What
south,
happened?
not a huge amount going on. Turkey did actually take a center. They got Tunis, so they do get
Didn't
one
Turkey
build.
lose
But
something?
sorry.
I thought Turkey lost Budapest though.
Oh yeah, they did. Okay, they don't get any builds. And so Russia comes out as the big winner from here. Let's see, winter 1907. Russia gets just 2 builds. I think they have more in reserve.
Yeah, but because they have St. Petersburg South Coast occupied and they were recapturing Moscow.
Yep.
Right, they're at 11. They've only got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Such a strong turn from Russia. Such an incredibly strong turn from Russia. And with all the Turkish units pushed up so far, they definitely have a chance now.
Yeah.
Germany
Okay.
keeps Livonia on the board
Wait,
for some
England is only
reason.
neutral?
Sorry, what?
England is only neutral. England gained Brest and Holland. It only lost to Sweden.
It lost Moscow as well. And
Oh, it did lose Moscow.
and it
That's
has to
right.
keep Ukraine on the board, which is like the most ridiculous unit at the moment.
Yeah, and if he just if he had stayed in Moscow, then
Or
then
gone
he
to
gets to
Civ.
build at home.
Yeah. Well,
This is why whenever you, why didn't he? If he moved into Sev, right, it would have had the same effect. He would still get to build at home, but he just denies Russia an extra build.
yep. Well, this is another thing we'll have to read the AAR for. I think that kind of move you
England's
can't
play
really.
this game has, I am shocked, astounded by it.
Like,
Completely shocked. That last turn, I would have played so differently.
it's
Okay,
been.
I don't know about so differently. There are like 2 moves I would have done differently. Baltic Sea supports Denmark into Kiel, and Ukraine, or in this case, Moscow holds. I would have made those changes. I think I should have done Moscow to Sev, but I'm pretty sure I would have had Moscow hold.
Yeah, no, I think that's very reasonable. Moscow to Ukraine is really strange.
It's just this crazy guess, right? It's the same crazy guess that he made earlier, right?
It's because
With,
he's guessing that Romania will go to Ukraine, but
Yeah. Or that Warsaw would, but if Romania is going to Ukraine, isn't he going to support that? Probably.
yeah, I would assume he'd support that as well.
Right, but like he's saying, oh yeah, Warsaw needs to tap Moscow, and then Romania needs to go to Ukraine. Like, yes, it's technically a guess. It's just a guess that it's a low probability guess.
Yep. Wait, England took Brest as well. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, England. Remember when I said I called everything?
Yep.
I said England was going to walk into all of their centers, and they were just going to let him. And he almost did.
And somehow, England doesn't even get a build off of that. That's insane. So power rankings here, I think Russia just shoots right up, right? Maybe even above Turkey. Probably above Turkey, actually. Because Turkey's got no way of
agree.
stopping Russia. No?
I don't agree.
What?
Naples isn't Russian, right? Naples is Turkish. Trieste is Russian. It's not. Or Trieste is Turkish. It's not Russian. Convoy into Albania. There's still a fleet in Armenia to bounce the Black Sea. Serbia is falling this turn, which is ugly, but if Serbia is falling, Vienna is going to the Turk. I think they're still forced to work together here. Potentially. Like, I think I have to take it back. I think they're forced to go to war right now because if only one of them goes to war, the other one is too screwed. I
Yep.
think they just have to stab each other right now. And so I think that war is going to be complicated. I expect Russia is not going to hold on to all of these gains.
Probably because Berlin and Munich are just too far gone, right? And some of Russia's
Actually,
centers are
because
just...
England has only fleets,
Okay, Munich might not be gone then, yeah.
Munich's probably not gone, and Berlin is remarkably difficult to attack as long as Munich can support it.
That's a good
And
point.
like the German units are all gone, right? There's a German fleet in Livonia and an army in Sweden, so there's not actually that much pressure on Berlin and Munich.
Well,
I could see, yeah, I'm gonna put Russia over Turkey. Russia has 11 centers, therefore.
Okay, I think, well, going from the bottom up is probably easier, right?
I
Germany...
think it's easiest to go by supply center count. I think it's actually that order.
So
Russia,
that would
Turkey,
be...
England, France, Germany. Done.
The argument here is whether Turkey's sort of pseudo centers in Trieste and Naples make up for the fact that it's behind in actual centers.
Yeah, but
It all comes
Serbia is
down to how
also
this
a
war
pseudo
goes.
center for Russia,
Yeah,
using that same logic.
that's true. So I guess we'll just have to go forward and see how this goes. I've
And
put
see
Russia
how the war
above.
actually breaks down. If they both go to war with each other this turn, I think it's going to go like this. But if either one of them stabs the other and the other doesn't respond in kind, that side's going to win, obviously.
Yep.
But it's about to be 1908, right? So I think they're just saying, oh, what makes me the most centers right now has to be the approach.
If they do go to war with each other, maybe England has a shot. Like,
Maybe.
I guess we'll go forward and see, because I still think England's shot is less than Russia or Turkey's.
You
But,
think England what?
I still think England's shot at the win is less than Russia or Turkey's. But it's there.
Yeah, it's obviously still there.
Yep.
There's a reason I'm not putting percentages on any of these things.
Yep. So I think the gap is like here. We have Russia, Turkey, England, and then big gap, and then France, and then Germany.
Yeah, because France decided to not take Liverpool and London.
Yep. They had such a good spot.
France,
It's just, the
buddy.
West as a whole has been a story of people throwing their advantages away, with the English convoy out of Belgium, and then the French
And
just...
walking out of English Channel at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the French not taking the centers. Like,
Yep.
guys, I know it's a joke about dotting people, right? Like, when you dot your allies, it annoys them and pisses them off. It's another thing to dot your enemy, right? Dots are important. Fight for them, please. You go to war for the dots. Conquer them once you've won them.
Alright, let's move to spring 1908.
Yeah.
So
Russia pops Ukraine.
Russia is
That's
still...
the priority.
Russia's still sided with Turkey here, and Turkey just retreats.
Yes,
That's,
but notably didn't kill Naples, right? There's a convoy into Greece. So yeah, Turkey.
It's set up to kill Naples right now, though, right?
It
with
is.
Tuscany to Rome, and
But if France taps Ionian now,
there is that
it's a
potential.
little more awkward.
Good point. We've got...
It still works, because then Rome supports Ionian, and then Adriatic covers Ionian. France gets into Tyrrhenian Sea, but we can still hold Ionian, so it's still fine. Yeah, I expect Turkey to pop Naples this turn.
I just saw the English convoy. Have you...
I saw it, but I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything. See, because I saw Paris that couldn't be defended.
Yep.
And I was saying, yeah, of course England's going to take the guaranteed center. And then backfill into English Channel. All English Channel moves to Irish Sea or Brest, right?
Yep.
And then we're fine. And then, of course, we're going to have, like, the Baltic Sea supporting me into Kiel from Denmark or Holland. Or something, right? Maybe it just goes to the Gulf of Bothnia to help my pal into St. Petersburg. Instead, we're just saying, yep, France, we're peaceful again. I know you took Brest, but you can have it back. I know Paris was going to be mine, but you can have it back. I don't care about getting the most dots, because I'm going to have the most dots anyways.
I think there's a good chance that the negotiation point England is taking here is to say to France, like, can I keep Brest as long as I take everything out, and, you know, we'll sort of keep working together. But I don't think France is going to let him keep Brest. He will have said,
France says,
yes.
Thanks for Brest back. I appreciate it, and you're not taking Paris.
Yeah.
Great.
So if France just says, yeah, whatever you want, just convoy out of Brest and
Absolutely,
we'll
yeah,
be
convoy
best
out of
buddies.
Brest. Absolutely.
And then, bam, Brest is gone.
Like, uh.
It's another throwaway of an advantage. I think it comes from the same mindset that England put Germany and Sweden under, which is, if I'm friends with someone, they'll help me win at the end of the game if they don't have a chance, which is what I'm assuming that order is. But you can't do it with someone as strong as France. They
France
may
is at
not have
5
a
dots.
huge chance to win, but they do still
Their
have a
chance is
chance.
similar enough to yours. You got to first put them in the position where they can't win the game themselves.
Yep.
Anyways, I am very depressed. England makes me sad.
So Russia moving down here into Galicia and Romania, trying to kill everything to kill that
They're
English
popping
unit.
Ukraine. Popping Ukraine just like they popped Galicia. Pop.
And by doing so, they're wasting their opportunity to get the first stab in on Turkey, and Turkey takes that opportunity.
Yeah, so Turkey's not going to lose anything to Russia anymore.
Yep.
And Russia's going to lose the stuff from Turkey.
Yeah, they're not even going to lose Bulgaria because they convoyed into Greece.
They could lose Bulgaria or Serbia. Maybe. No.
Well, only if
Turkey plays defensive, Turkey's not losing anything.
Yep, they can just go to Serbia from Trieste and then support Venice into Trieste or something, or Tyrolia into Trieste.
Okay. The danger of supporting Venice into Trieste is then that bit about the Ionian Sea we talked about earlier. And taking Naples.
Yes, that's true.
I would rather not capture Trieste than lose Ionian. So I would do that.
Well, shall we move forward and have a look?
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, full 1908. Assuming
so it goes
loads,
through 1910?
Yes, it goes through 1910, as far as I'm aware.
Fantastic.
It could end very suddenly before that, but I think it goes through 1910. So England takes St. Petersburg with a fleet after convoying the army up there.
To Norway that then held? Oh my god!
And of course, France takes Brest. There was never a question of whether France was going to take Brest there. It's just Norway's.
But the way that he did it was he only tapped it with one.
Well, I mean, I guess he was defending
after
Belgium.
After he convoyed out of Brest, he's probably not defending it. Oh my lord.
Okay, so actually Turkey turns around and stops attacking Russia, gets out of Trieste.
Gets into Piedmont.
I can't say whether that's good play or not. I guess they saw the sort of England going all out in the north, maybe, and thought...
But, what does it even matter? Even if there's an English army in St. Pete, that's good news for Turkey.
Yeah.
It means that Turkey stabbing Russia means that Turkey just wins the game.
I don't understand why Turkey didn't take the stab, although they are still very well positioned to stab Russia now, but Russia's now in a defensive position, so...
Not quite. Romania's still falling.
Okay, actually, yeah, Ukraine moved up to Warsaw.
But Turkey, the way that Turkey played it, Turkey's no longer in Tyrolia.
No, they're in Piedmont. Okay. Interesting.
Why do you want to be in Piedmont? Piedmont's the place where you want to be for trying to solo, to get to 18 centers. That's why I care about Piedmont.
And also, France was very clearly getting builds here. They're never going to take Marseille.
Why attack from Tyrolia instead of from Venice?
I'm very confused about this.
And why not just hold?
Alright, so up here...
people don't realize... Do they remember the game ends in 1910? It's not like a random end date where it could end in 1910, could end in 1913.
I think it's a definite 1910 on this game.
Because this seems like a game that they think could go to 1913. Because if this game has an extra 3 years, I totally understand all these moves. Because the Juggernaut can actually break through the stalemate line now, and they can, either one of them could solo. But because the game ends in 1910, means after this turn they have 4 more moves. So they need to get to the most centers to win the game.
Yep. I guess I don't really have an answer to that. It seems to me like they should have stabbed. What is Turkey going to gain by not stabbing here? They're looking to get into position to take maybe Tunis, maybe Naples. They were already in position to maybe take Naples.
Naples was guaranteed, right?
it
We're talking about Turkey here, yeah?
it wasn't guaranteed if the French unit tapped Ion
No, they support some Ionian.
or supported Naples out
Oh,
into
excuse
Ion.
me, you're right. Right,
Yeah,
you're right. Of
it was a
course, of course.
50-50, but it was still a
Excuse
good
me, you're right.
50-50.
And that's assuming that France is supporting Russia, which there's no guarantee.
Yeah. And now I think with Turkey seeing England take St. Petersburg with a fleet, of all things, they have to stab, right? Because Russia's in such a good position.
Russia is Turkey's threat to win this game here, right?
Yep.
England is not like I expect England could have the opportunity to walk into 5 centers in fall 1910 and it just wouldn't. I think he'd just be like, I'll take him later. That's how it feels to me.
That.
I just.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I can understand that given his moves previously. I just
Like, look,
don't
England
know
did
what to
England
say.
did grow, right? England took St. Pete, England took Kiel, and only lost Brest. So England is still
Yeah.
+1
Yep.
somehow.
But they're not in a position to do anything from St. Petersburg. Norway.
Nope, and they're not in a position to do anything else because they've got an army in Norway that's not thing, and they've only fleets, and they don't have enough fleets to outflank France anymore.
And France is getting 2 builds? 3
France
builds?
is plus Tunis.
Well,
he popped Piedmont, so it's kind of a build.
It's plus Tunis, plus Brest, and Piedmont popped. So they're +3 but can only build 2
Funny.
in Paris and Marseille.
Yep.
So, shall we move over to the winter?
Yeah, let's see some more moves. Let's see the builds and then some moves.
Okay, so builds here we've got.
How is England +2? Why do we suck?
Oh, their unit in Ukraine got popped.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So, England
gets his army. Good. I like these builds. These are the best builds.
But if you're building fleet Liverpool, then why did you leave France?
However, previous decisions aside, Fleet Liverpool Army London is clearly the best build from here.
Yep.
Clearly. So, good job.
The French builds are also fine. I can see,
So,
like, Marseille.
Yeah, Turkey didn't get anything.
There's an argument
France
for Marseille being an army just to help push on the Burgundy front, but I think fleet is fine.
I like the fleet. I think the waters matter more than the land right now.
Alright.
We've already got Belgium and Paris, so Burgundy is fine. We can hold it.
I mean, that fleet is currently pinned, though, right, by Piedmont.
I mean, currently, but it can still bounce in the Gulf of Lyon, for example.
That's true.
And, like, who knows? If we get an army in Gascony, we can then get it into the Gulf of Lyon while bouncing out of Marseille, right? And then we can rebuild in Marseille again.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely to get out into Gulf of Lyon than it is to get out into...
So, something to consider here, Russia got no builds, right? They didn't even have any centers open if they did get any builds, but they were deliberately positioning to take centers on the next turn instead, with the moves around Kiel.
Yeah, Kiel is looking like a place that Russia tries to get, but doesn't because England is in hell and hall.
Yep. Which means Russia's actually got a lot of units pinned down on that front that can't help if there's a war with Turkey.
Right? They're just not
They're
doing
not
anything.
pinned, no. Okay.
Exactly.
Because there's no real threat to Munich, and there's not a huge threat to Berlin.
Not for, like... I mean, particularly not if Russia keeps tapping Kiel with 3. There's just no threat to Berlin for a year.
Yeah, but how do you get those units back effectively? You would have to support into Tyrolia, which Turkey can potentially block. I suppose it's... Ruhr in particular is a bit far forward, but they're still in a reasonably good position, right? And then we've got Turkey with these 2 armies down here. Okay, they're pretty evenly matched on the direct front. But,
well, I mean, Romania's... I'm not sure I agree with that. I think Turkey is hugely advantaged here.
Because of Romania being... Oh yeah, Romania is easily
takeable.
Naples
all go this turn, if Turkey wants them.
Okay, that is true. And that will put Turkey in the lead. So, should I put Turkey up to first? I should probably... Turkey...
Yeah, and Turkey's the only person on this board who I actually trust to make the stab here.
I mean, I think Russia hasn't shown any... well, no, they...
There have been a few times where Russia's made moves with Turkey that I've been skeptical about. Like, namely last year. not
Right.
attacking Turkey and instead trying to position herself to take Kiel.
Yeah.
I think again, if this game lasted a couple more years, I totally get it, and I think it makes sense. But they've got 4 more moves to get the most dots.
Yep. So power rankings: Turkey first. Should we?
Turkey first, and then nobody else.
Nobody. Are you sure?
Turkey's got this game in the bag. It's over. It's done. We can move on with our lives.
Right. Well,
you want me to finish the commentary, or can I just walk out? I think it's time for the mic drop, get off the stage moment.
Let's.
I'm only partially joking here.
Let's finish off the commentary anyway. Are you sure you don't want to power rank anything else? Should I just put everything else equal at the bottom?
Look, if we're gonna hedge, we have to say England is number 2.
Just because of the chance of taking a bunch of coastal centers?
Yeah, because England can still somehow randomly get thrown a bunch of dots by Russia and France. And, if Russia sees that Turkey's going to win the game, maybe Russia says, wow, Turkey stabbed me for this game. England, I know we've had our differences, but you've always been honest and, have been so schizophrenic, you've probably said nice things to me. Here, you can win. And then gives him Berlin and Munich or something, and Moscow. But then there's also a chance that France pulls something out of his ass and takes Italian centers because Turkey and Russia fight too much. Whatever. Turkey's gonna win the game. If Turkey doesn't, it's England, and if England doesn't, somebody's made a big mistake.
Okay, so should I put just France and Russia down in equal third, or?
You can do whatever you want,
okay.
CaptainMeme. There's just no way.
I've done that. Moving on to spring 1909. So 2 years left in the game. And Turkey did indeed stab Russia, as we can see here, and Russia did not.
All of the centers?
Russia did not move back, although.
Take all of the centers.
Russia did take Kiel, because England moved into Baltic instead.
Because England was greedy.
Yeah. Liverpool moving into the North Atlantic, I suppose that's fine, but England.
Oh, actually, England still gets to retake Kiel, just doesn't get anywhere.
But also, their army is stranded in London.
I mean...
I suppose...
but there's a fleet in the English Channel, so it's okay.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And Turkey did not take Naples.
Alright, so... Turkey didn't take Naples, but they tried to. They got cut by France. But now they've got Fleet Apulia, which guarantees it. Yeah?
French fleet in Tyrrhenian Sea.
Yes, Naples was trying to support Ionian through to Tyrrhenian, which is
because Russia thought they were friendly.
Yep.
And now Russia is in very sad shape.
Very bad shape.
Vienna and Budapest are both gone.
Yep. They lose Vienna to Trieste, support Piedmont to Vienna, and then Romania can head to Budapest.
I take it back. Munich supports Vienna into Tyrolia.
Munich isn't a unit. It went into Kiel.
Never mind. Yep, no. So Vienna's gone.
So I think you have to say
Turkey's going to be +4 up to 12.
I don't know if they take both Romania and Budapest.
What?
They got into Romania, right? But they can. Russia can still contest Romania and stop it from taking both Vienna and Budapest. So I think +3 is at
+3
most
guaranteed. +4 is probable.
But +3 is still
that's coming,
huge.
and that's +3 at the expense of Russia.
Yep, which is the biggest competitor. So.
And who is England going to grow from right now? Where is England's builds coming from?
I mean, the only feasible builds are the Russian north, as in the German area. They've got one in Sweden, which is free whenever they want it.
Probably pretty free, but they need to commit 2 units to it. Germany can block it.
That's true. Also, they could move into the Mid-Atlantic Ocean if France doesn't defend, but...
I think the move to Mid-Atlantic Ocean is necessary. Strictly necessary.
In order to give them a chance at winning.
Chance of Portugal. You need to win the game. How are you going to win this game, England? Look, Turkey's at 11. You got to get +3 before the end of the game, at least. Probably +4, or even 5.
Shall
Where are you
we?
5 dots coming, England?
Shall we move on to the fall and see whether
Sure.
England is going there? I have a feeling they might not be. No, they did.
They
um,
did. They did get bounced. Good job, France.
England did convoy to Brest. I wonder whether they were trying to take advantage of like we we convoyed out of Brest. Please throw to me now. But that's not going to happen because France is in a position where they could win. There's just a very slight chance.
Okay, so how does France win this game? Well, okay, actually, in the south, that's a good start.
Mm. They took
So,
Romania. They took Munich. They're actually doing pretty well here. They took Holland. Ooh, they took a lot.
and they took Rome.
Um, yeah. Sorry, Rome, not
They
Romania. When I
took
said
Holland, Rome, and Munich.
Yep. Turkey manages to take Vienna, Budapest, and Trieste, not Romania.
And Tunis held. So now Russian is still in Ionian.
Russia.
And there's a Turkish fleet in Tyrrhenian Sea.
I think Russia has decided to try and throw to France rather than to England because they just pushed the English fleet out of Holland.
Yeah, and France is a buddy. So now France wins.
I think there's still a chance Turkey can just outpace them. But
Can
France is in.
outpace the Russian throwing to France?
I mean, how much more can the Russian do to throw to France? They've just lost all their units on that front.
Actually, I mean, if England is still trying to win, which we assume England is, unless England also throws to France.
Yeah, which I think is unlikely.
So Munich can go into Warsaw, right?
Yes.
Via Silesia. That can happen.
So, well, shall we just move to the winter quickly? There's no moves
Look
I
at some builds.
particularly want to discuss here. Aside from maybe the English failing to get their fleet out of St. Petersburg. But
Doesn't matter.
that doesn't matter too much. So if we go to the winter here, we got 3 builds on both fronts, and we've got Turkey on 11 and France on 10. So that's actually extremely close. We've got
So Turkey, but Turkey's getting Sev and
7
Romania.
Rum. That's probably where they max out. They might get Rome.
Is possible.
It is definitely
Like-
possible. It's a guess.
It's not a guess if Russia's on side, right? If Russia is on side with France, there's no guessing involved. Just
Yeah,
guaranteed
they
Rome
just
is
cut
out.
both Naples and
Exactly.
Tyrrhenian.
Tap both.
Uh,
Unless Trieste gets to Venice, right? Because if no, because then Marseille,
but Marseille
also gets
is
the
also
Piedmont.
going to Piedmont. Yeah.
So Marseille gets the Piedmont, which cuts Ven. So yeah, Rome is held. Rome is French.
So Turkey probably
fact-
gets Romania and Sevastopol. Well, it's
In
not
fact,
really
there's guessing
probably.
for France to get Naples.
Yes, there is. Is there? Apulia just supports whole Naples, right? I suppose in the fall it could definitely. fall.
So if we assume, so for that to work, right? If Rome supports Tunis and the Tyrrhenian Sea, while Ionian cuts Naples, if Apulia just supports whole Naples right now,
then they lose
then
Tyrrhenian,
France ends up in Tyrrhenian Sea.
and Naples is lost on the
And-
next turn.
And then there's still the Russian fleet in Ionian and the French army in Piedmont. Then
Trieste can
so
still
then they
cut
can-
Rome.
Trieste.
Trieste can
Venice-
go to Venice and then cut Rome.
Yeah. Trieste goes to Venice, right? Then Venice still that unit, if that's going to be a Turkish unit, if it goes into Rome, yeah, Naples is still Turkey's not getting, so Turkey's absolutely not getting Rome unless it's a trade-off for Naples.
Yeah. So Turkey at most maxes out at 13, I think. And that means France has to take 3.
At least, and that's only to tie. Who had the tiebreaker going in?
I do not remember.
Can you look that up?
I could. Hang on, let me just check. Do you want to keep talking about stuff on the board while I'm doing this?
Yeah, so like again, Romania and Sev both look like locks for Turkey. And because of the fleet in Smyrna, there's no danger of Greece being lost.
Let me...
And because Russia popped Ukraine instead of Silesia or Ruhr, it looks to me like Turkey is going to get all of it anyways.
I'm just pulling it up here. Turkey has the... Yeah, Turkey has the tiebreak against anyone except Austria or Germany, which I don't think are the...
Against Austria or Germany?
But Turkey has the tiebreak against anyone except Austria or Germany, who are both out. So Turkey wins on a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Turkey wins.
Right. So
Calling it here.
if you were just throwing completely,
if I'm only throwing with Russian units, it's Turkey still wins.
Yeah,
we
it's
need
impossible.
England to throw as well.
And if England is
England or
throwing,
France-
how much can you even get? You get Kiel, Berlin, London.
Sorry, if England is throwing to France as well,
Yeah.
I convoy Holland into Edinburgh. I
Oh,
convoy
yeah.
Brest
Okay, you
into
easily win.
Wales, and then we move Paris into Brest, and then I convoy Brest into Norway. Holland takes Kiel in Denmark. Munich
Brest
takes
into
Kiel.
Norway. Brest into Norway for the win would be hilarious. Just England convoy, making that convoy one more time to just solidify
That's
that
how
French
England
win.
throws. If England throws to France, France wins.
Yep, but I don't think England has reason to throw to France, especially after France took Brest after England convoyed out. I think that was likely a breach of an arrangement.
Maybe, but maybe England says, "Look, dude, I've been schizophrenic this whole game. You've been a good, solid ally this whole time. You know what? Here, have the win. You deserve it for putting up with me."
Alright, let's just move ahead to the spring, and I'll just put the power rankings here. Turkey up top, England and Russia not really in it anymore, and France in second. Just if everything gets thrown. Let's move ahead to the spring of 1910. And that is not a throw from England at all.
No, it's not a throw. No, it's not.
No,
it's just a guess.
it was
right?
a guess on
It's
London,
just a
Wales.
guess that he missed. But in the south, Turkey is in Rome.
Turkey is in Rome. They managed to get in. Oh.
Yeah, and Russia is in the Adriatic Sea. But now Turkey's also in Ionian?
Yes. So plus Rome, plus definitely plus Romania and Sevastopol from this position.
Yeah. So Romania and Sevastopol. And plus Rome.
Yeah, England somehow manages to get into Belgium, just slipping there in the meantime.
Yeah,
Russia.
well, it's because Russia supported France into Kiel.
Yeah, trying to. Didn't.
And
get
so yeah,
through.
this game is the Turkey win.
But yeah, it's done. So shall we move ahead to the fall quickly? Here, if it loads, this is the final position. I say it's the final position. We can apparently move one phase forward, but I assume that's when they declared the draw.
That's the winter.
So here we've got a convoy into Sevastopol. That works perfectly. You've got Turkey taking Romania. Turkey not managing to keep Venice, but it doesn't
makes sense. There's too many
matter.
armies on it. The fleet in the Adriatic's gonna get Venice.
Yeah, they still
Okay.
They still managed to hold Rome, and in the meantime, France didn't gain anything, I think, apart from London. Germany stays alive, though.
Yep, alive in Sweden.
The survival success story of that English convoy in keeping him alive. England keeping true to his word and not even attempting to take that centre. So, if we move ahead to the final position here, winter 1910, we see Turkey on 13, France on 11, England down to 6 at the end of that game, and then we've got Russia on 3. That was a huge collapse at the end there.
Russia lost Munich, Romania, Vienna, Sevastopol. There.
Yeah, Budapest, basically everything.
And Kiel, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you were right back at the start when you said that Russia would end up with Moscow and Warsaw. It was just a bit later than we expected.
A bit later.
But yeah, so that was a Turkey win, and then that means I can adjust the power rankings. Bam, bam, bam.
Chill.
Bam. Turkey is victorious.
Why is England still in the power ranking?
It is not.
You British lying chest.
It
So
should have
prejudiced and
disappeared.
biased. Oh my god.
So that was an interesting game. I think
Gave me aneurysms. England. Why? Why?
there were a
England?
lot of questionable decisions in it, but I think it might just be down to the fact that the Nexus games prior to the finals are not time limited, I believe. They probably are time limited to some degree, but not to 1910. So maybe the players were adjusting to an environment that they weren't familiar
And the
with.
finals are in a different format than the rest of the tournament?
I believe so.
All right,
I may
Nexus.
be wrong.
But why? There's no way that's the case, Captain Meme.
The main thing about
Why would
this, the finals are done in the same format as the World Championships in Standard Diplomacy. The rest of the games are all done throughout the year, so they have plenty of time to happen. This one has to happen after everything and before the start of the next season, so it has to be time limited.
I guess. Can't they have signups for the next season before the tournament's done?
I think that's what they did this year, but it's to avoid an ODC situation where you just have the finals going on all the way into the next year and then you can't do the tournament for 2 years. Yeah, questionable decisions, but absolutely fantastic play from Turkey. I think there were very little things we could criticize about Turkey's play, which...
I agree. I think Turkey played overall a fantastic game.
It's pretty similar to, honestly, last year. He's the same person who won the season last year as well. And last year he also just played a fantastic game start to finish, if I recall correctly. We had very little to criticize there as well. So, congratulations to Powa once again. We're going to cut this off here because it has already been 3 hours and a little bit, as per usual.
I think we're about on schedule.
Yeah, I think that's actually shorter than last year's, but...
Excellent.
Yeah,
we did it.
So hopefully the next game we'll be here with is the ODC finals. I have no idea where they're ending, though. And obviously that depends on whether Ezio will be around to commentate as well. For another 3 hours. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.